Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Thank God it is almost Friday because the work week has been work weekend. Okay. Again, I hope everyone had a great day. We'll have a great evening. We're going to get into a few little things. We're going to get into Chantel's interview with Karla Pace about her fussing and fighting with her mama. And then we're going to all go to bed, okay? So, girl, hold on. I got to put my hoodie on. I'm sitting up here. I forgot I had a shirt on. Hold on. Okay? Because I be forgetting, y'all. I be sitting around here forgetting I have to put clothes on. And that's why I always end up putting on whatever shirt is on my chair that I wore the day before, okay? Let me be sure my boobies is all put up and stuff. Okay, look how y'all doing. How was everyone and stuff? I hope y'all can all hear me good, okay? Y'all know to a few things. Make sure to like the video. Okay, make sure to like it and subscribe. Because why else be here? If you're not going to like the video, if you're not going to subscribe, don't be coming around here being nosy and getting all the information of my jokes, but you ain't liked it and subscribing. Okay, you can also make sure to comment in the comment section. Okay, you can share the video. That is great as well. Follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. Okay, if YouTube knocks y'all out, I can't fix it. Hi. Okay, YouTube be hating. I have no control over it, y'all. None at all. Yeah, I'm gonna take my hair down because I've been at work all day. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. And I just feel like I want my hair out for a minute. I'm gonna put it up in a second. Because I came home and I didn't have time to take my hair down like I usually do. And I put it back up in the bun. Okay. But yeah. Y'all, and this ain't no headband wig how Destiny be wearing on Love Mary Tunstall. But again, I hope everyone is having a good time in life. Okay, look, life is life in around here, and we have to have a good time one way or the other. Okay. Hello to those watching live. Hello to y'all watching live, but also hello to those who would end up watching the replay, because both watchers matter. If you watch live, you matter. If you watch the replay, you matter. Okay, I love you all. But yeah, make sure you can say, look, don't forget to hit the like button. Good time tonight and whatnot. Okay, so hello to everyone. Okay. YouTube still hating. They get them, and I don't know why. I don't understand it. I can't control it. All I can tell y'all is that if you around here and it knocks you out, come on back in. Okay? Come on back in. If you're watching the replay, you don't have to deal with that. However, the live is still fun. Okay. But hello to y'all. Okay. Look, it was nice today in Michigan. It was like in the 70s, y'all. I didn't have to cut my air on in my car. I was able to let the windows down and whatever, and that was what it was, child. I ain't coming here up. I can see my ends just sticking out on the ends. It looked weird to me. But yeah, okay. Look, you right on time, child. Right on time around here, and we love it. Okay, and stuff. I'm not about to replay game. Look, I gotta work this weekend. Okay, because work is crazy, and I mean my regular job. What is going on? Child, you get promoted, child. You become a boss at work. I've been a boss for a long time though. I just had a title of boss, but now that I have the title of a boss, what? Okay, but yeah. Anyway, okay, yeah. Also, y'all make sure y'all still subscribe because sometimes it will unsubscribe. I follow this white man who do movie reviews. Is his name Jeremy? I think his name was Jeremy Johns. I don't remember. Child, some kind of way I was unsubscribed. I'm like, what did I do? What happened? I don't know. So YouTube will unsubscribe y'all. So make sure that y'all around here, y'all are a subscriber. I will probably always shade Destiny in her wig because I got it here. You know what I'm saying? And look, I can wear my hair down, but I'll be like, get off me and stuff. But yeah, because like right now, I don't look bad. So when I take my bun out, you know, when a bun comes out, my hair, this is what it does. Okay. So I'm around here, child, and I'm naked with no shirt on or whatever. Because I swear to God, I did not have a shirt on before I got on camera. I said, girl, put a shirt on. Okay. Because if not, your titties will be on the screen. And we don't want my channel to shut down for titties on the screen. Okay, because that will happen. But yeah, like, comment, and all that good stuff. Yes. Oh, hey, what you doing? My iron fell off. Okay. Enjoy the football. Anyway, yeah, let's get started. Okay, look, I am happy I did not have to cut no hairs off on my thumbnail or whatever. Okay, well, I take that back. Because Erica Mena picture, that's her head. I don't know who body I used. I used another person's body. It may have been a random black woman. I can't remember. But I needed somebody in a green color, and Erica don't have no good clothes around here. God, now see, this don't let me perish. Cause of football, y'all, football is back on, and him, as you know, him is the CEO and president of the sports section of JayLeesCorner, and because football is back. But we go through this every year, child. Anyway, but enjoy the Lions and let me know who won. I mean, maybe they'll win because of the Good Morning Monday. Okay, I tried my best. Anyway, him, you said, see. They said it's pregame. It don't mean nothing. To him, it's everything. Okay. And it's the Lions, child. No. If my arm fell off, okay, as you see, he told me to call 911. If I'm dying, I can't call him for no help. Nope, gotta call 911. Anyway, no, he loves football. So yeah, even though it's pregame, it's preseason. He said, child. Anyway, my thumbnail. Okay. Erica Mena head is her head, that ain't her body. Okay. But I said, now that I'm around here figuring out, look, if I can't find the person in the outfit, just use their head in somebody else's body. That has made things so much easier. Okay. Cut the head off and put somebody else's body on it. Okay. Because yesterday's thumbnail, you know what I'm saying, I had to do who I did Deion Sanders, that ain't his body, that's somebody else's body. And then Gilbert Arenas is somebody else's body. Okay. And then even on Candy's part, even though that's Candy head, that's Candy's whole body, I had to cut her head off to change the color of her outfit to make it a little bit of green. Okay. So I still had to cut Candy head off and put it back on to match it. But today I only had to cut off Erica Mena's head and put it on somebody else's body. Okay, and I don't know who body was, but I enjoyed my thumbnail index today because I was like, "Ooh, it can match now." Okay, it can match. Oh, whatever. Anyway, y'all, Gilbert looks well because Gilbert, there are no pictures of Gilbert Arenas like in a regular outfit. It's weird. I could not find nothing of him like in real clothes. Child, it was all like weird, goofy shit and whatnot on his own IG page. It was all goofy shit, and I can't stand that or whatever. So I said, well, I can just put Gilbert Arenas' head on Shannon Sharpe body, and as y'all see the outfit, I use Shannon Sharpe's real thing. So that's Shannon Sharpe in the same outfit that I put Gilbert Arenas in yesterday. Okay. So again, I be making it do what it do. Because I be needing my colors, my color scheme. Joseline has a lazy eye in general. I think one of her eyes is a little bit weird. Just a little bit weird. Okay. And look, people was crazy. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all every time I gotta cut off somebody's head and put it on somebody else's body for it to look, right. Okay. I am such a perfectionist. It made me so aggravated when I can't have a good thumbnail. Okay, it does. And to take someone's head and this, I'm like, oh, I just put it on somebody else. Now trying to get the cutout correct is the thing. Okay, trying to have it match up is the thing. And I still have not fixed Deion Sanders' head, but I don't care. But this one is really, really good. Anyway, chopping around here. I'm making my look. If you watching the replay and my hair looks, look at my ends look dry. This is what happened. I ain't coming here. Anyway, how y'all doing? We're gonna get into Gilbert Arenas because he responded to the arrest yesterday. Okay, we're gonna get into Justin because Justin around here too. You are for well, it's not that I photoshopped the thumbnail. Yeah, but no, look, making thumbnails is an art. How did I regularly cut folks' heads off and put them on other people's body? No. The most I used to have to do was, play with the coloration. If, that part, I do that, you know what I'm saying, to make the color be right. But usually, you know what I'm saying, it's all one picture. I may make a picture a little bit lighter or a bit darker to make their outfit match what I wanted to match. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I just started cutting people's heads off and put them on other people's bodies. But because I couldn't find, I put on my other glasses. It's because I couldn't find Gilbert Arenas, and that's what it was. And because it has been getting harder to find people in like nice pictures. It's so I'm like, if you're a celebrity, like I need you to have at least one good photo of yourself looking regular. And because when I Googled Gilbert Arenas, and I said, was he a goofball? Why you look goofy? It was just so, and then Shannon Sharpe would be looking goofy too. And it's like country Bama suits. And then Erica Mena, child, is always looking difficult in the face. Okay. It was hard for me to find, Mary J. Blige in white, but I found an old picture of her in white. But we shall see. Okay. I like the thumbnails. They'd be fun to me. But I never was having to do photoshopping to this extent. No. Little background removal, little color coordination, but that was it. Okay. Anyway, we went out here. Let me get to sharing my screen. Okay. The interview that Chantel did with Carlos King will be last. I got about 30 minutes of that. The interview that she did with Carlos was 2 hours. Okay. Chantel had a 2-hour tour with Carlos King, and I listened on double speed. But I took out pieces, that I felt like we can discuss so that we last, because that will be a watch along in the conversation. But yeah, it's because she's a thumbnail perfectionist. She will push her live. And she will push her live in a minute. I will. I will. But now I maybe won't have to so often, because before I was looking for the right photograph. And now, because I can cut somebody's head off and put it on somebody's body, it shouldn't take me as long now for certain people. Okay. But we're going to see what's going on. Let's get into a few things. Look, I am not a roller coaster person. Okay. I have not. We used to go to Cedar Point every summer when I was in middle school, because my middle school the school itself planned a trip every summer. So for at least 3 years, we went every summer, Cedar Point, and I'm like, oh, okay, we would go to carnivals here in town, because a carnival ride versus a amusement park ride is different. And I remember going to Cedar Point, and I got on, I think what's called the Blue Streak, bitch. I said, oh, this ain't for me. That was the last ride I rode. That was the last amusement park ride. I said, no, man. Like the little pirate ship that flow back and forth was cool by me. At one point I rode like the little swing thing. That was okay. But once I was like, 7th, 8th grade, bitch, and I couldn't breathe on the ride, because I said, I don't like it. I don't like it. So I probably have not rode like a roller coaster since maybe 1995, 96. I think it was because I went to high school in 96. So this had to be 94, 95. Child was on, it was what's called the Blue Streak? The some streak. Either the Blue Streak, child. I don't remember, but I remember how terrified I was. I thought I was gonna die. And I rode maybe 1 or 2 other rides that same year at the point. And I said, no, I don't like it. It's not fun. I'm scared. I might die. Because even if I'm watching on like social media, someone riding a bike along a hill, my soul be nervous. So that's not what I do. Okay. And hold on. Mean Streakers wouldn't. Yeah, I think it was the blue. It was something. Again, this is, back, 20 over 25, 25 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, no. So when I see all the rides that people get, I'm like, why y'all doing that to yourself? Child, over there in Saudi Arabia, the thing broke. Okay? Thing broke, fell to the ground. I said, oh no. Not today, not ever. And this right here, I feel like, first of all, I'm suing everybody. Okay? Everybody getting a lawsuit. Okay? The amusement park, the man who took my ticket, Okay, the person, the one who buckled my seatbelt, the one sitting next to me, they ride in the damn ride, child, and the arm of the ride broke. Now, thank God no one died. Thank God. Okay. However, there were still 23 people hurt because the arm broke and then it fell to the ground. Now I said, now what in blue blazes? This is why we gotta keep our ass on the ground. Okay. And I was also seeing stuff about a couple of rides at Cedar Point where they get caught mid-air. Okay, stuck in the air, and the folk have to get off and walk down the ride. Now, can you imagine being 100 feet up in the air and you have to walk down the stairs? So, first of all, I'm gonna pass out because I'm too high up and I'm scared of heights. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So I need people to realize maybe no one should be riding rides no more. Okay. Maybe we all need to go sit down and be on the ground. Okay. Ride the pirate ship to go left to right. Left to right. Okay. Don't go to nothing that be. And then pray to them people. But I need everybody to keep your feet on the ground. Don't go up there no more. Not at all. Not today. Not ever. Okay. Now, what else? Do I have any of the foolishness? Well, one, congratulations. I forgot to cover this, child, like a week or two ago. Okay. Joey Badass. Is her name pronounced Sarah? Is it Soraya? I never know how to pronounce her name because I never hear folks say her name enough, okay? But Joy Badass and the actor lady, Soraya or Sarah, I don't know, had their baby, okay? Had the baby around here. They are also engaged. Now, I know he has an older child and whatnot, but that's their first child or her first child. Okay, so they had the baby child, they got engaged. Okay, so congrats to them. We like Joey Badass. We like her too. We do. We like her as well. But congrats to them on the baby. Congrats to and again, the baby was 2 months ago. Again, folks be around here having babies in private. Okay. If you ask me, Rihanna probably already had her baby, and we just don't know. I'm not sure. But again, congrats to them. I just forgot to mention it a while ago because I don't know what happened. It was too much stuff. This ain't no look. Y'all know how much I don't like third trimester Tristan. Okay, because in my head, that man is consistently just he aggravates me. Okay. However, it was his son's birthday. It was also his brother's birthday. His brother is disabled, and I think Chloe is like the guardian to the brother because she's like, I'm a mom. Because Tristan's mama died, so the boy don't have no mama. And he needs a lot of care. So, Chloe is like the mother, parental guardian of Tristan's brother. Okay, and they will celebrate the birthday. My point is, every time I see Tristan in pictures with the kids, and he never posts not damn picture with that other baby he had with that lady while Chloe. Okay, it aggravates me when I see him around here smiling. That's his oldest son. Okay. That's his daughter. Okay. That's the son down there. Okay. And that's Dream. Dream was Rob Kardashian's daughter. Tristan loves acting like, he the daddy too. Okay. And so it aggravates my spirit when I see him in a picture with all his other kids smiling and all happy and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. But we ain't never gonna see that man with that other baby. And the reason this aggravates me is because the baby, you were actively cheating on Chloe, got somebody pregnant, the baby here, and you're still making a choice
to physically ignore that baby. I believe he paying child support for that baby or whatever, but he and I know he told her I would not be in a kid life, but I'm like, how can you be a great father to your 3 other kids by 2 other women, but you choose to ignore the other baby? And then the fact that Chloe helps you raise your brother. So how are y'all over there in that weird ass community? Y'all helping, Rob with Dream. You know what I'm saying? Chloe helping you with your brother. Y'all are it's supposed to be this close knit family and whatnot. And ain't no one said to Tristan, go be the daddy. We know. It was you cheat. If you have accepted him cheating and you have accepted him in your life as the kid's daddy, I cannot imagine being okay with seeing pictures of my kid with the daddy, the other baby, because the older son or whatever. But we are constantly ignoring he has another kid that we know exists. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? So he will always this aggravates me. This aggravates me so much. Okay. And again, his son is so if him and Chloe's son is 3, that means the other baby, the other son is also 3. Or maybe 4. Because the son he had while Cheatation was born right as the surrogate was pregnant with their kid. So the baby and the child is weird to me. I don't understand it. I don't. Okay. And again, Chloe helps this brother. That's his brother. That is Tristan's brother, who again is disabled. So Chloe is like the parental mother. I think like legally she is to the brother since their mom passed away. Okay. That is an ugly Mickey Mouse in there. That they can get the real Mickey Mouse in the ducks. Child, you say so. Anyway, yeah, I don't like Tristan. Until Tristan shows himself with this other son, he will forever be an asshole to me. I've seen this happen here. A man was arrested because he drunk drove himself to the police department because his wife was in jail. Okay, a 43-year-old Troy man, and Troy is one of our, this is around the city outside of Detroit. A 43-year-old Troy man got arrested because he got drunk and drove to the police department because he needed to bring his wife her medication. Again, it said it happened around 6 p.m. He drove there, came to drop off the medication for the wife who was locked up. Okay, and the cops said, "Well, are you drunk?" No, I'm not drunk. Reek of alcohol gave him several sobriety tests. He failed them all. So now his ass is in jail too. Okay, he blew a .162, which was twice the legal limits. So again, he is locked up. Okay, you can't drive drunk to the cops. That's a major way to get girl. But again, stupidity is free to people, and so we're gonna let that be. Yeah, we don't have much before I get to Chantel. What Rick Ross said. Rick Ross is still around here being weird, and I just have to show y'all, because I feel like we think that Rick Ross is the boss or whatever, and he's just no. Rick Ross is a fat, lame, rich man. Okay, and if he did not have money, he would be ignored and talked badly about. So because I don't want anyone thinking he's a great person, he is still using 50 Cent's son, a child, a 12-year-old child, as content for back and forth with 50 Cent.
All right, let's get back to business. I got a question. 50 Cent, after your first album with Diamond, no one around you thought it'd be a good idea to renegotiate that horrendous contract you was in for ownership of your masters after that first album? The second album? Third album? The fourth album? Yo. All right, let's get back to business. I got a question. Who got fucked worse, man? Who got fucked worse? Who got
Him trying to compare, 50 Cent's record deal to, his baby mama's stuff. He then went on the Sun.
So 50, look, I mentioned your youngest son, Bruce Leroy, me taking him fishing for the first time, watching him catch his first Dover sole. That ain't a snapper. Now, but me and my buddies, we was talking about little man possibly suffering with trauma in the future. And I said, okay, that's something I never thought about, trauma. But if he is suffering from trauma or needs any assistance, I'm gonna be here for him. I would love to get him a puppy. What kind of puppy? Chihuahua? All right. A Chihuahua for Bruce Leroy. What?
And y'all know I don't even like 50 Cent. He gets on my damn nerves. But I feel like you should not be commenting on that man's son. Comment on the adult son. Comment on the son who's in his 20s. You should never comment and be back and forth about someone's 12-year-old son. Rick Ross, you too old for that. But again, he lame. And I need folk to understand Rick Ross is, once your go-to punch is someone's 12-year-old son, use a bitch. Because in real life, 50 Cent should go beat up Rick Ross. I'm just saying. Because if you want to keep bringing up my son, I have to fight you now. Like, I mean, man-to-man, hand combat. I don't want no one stabbed or shot. I mean, man-to-man, hand-to-hand combat. And if 50 Cent punched Rick Ross in his titty, he deserves it. Okay? If he kicked Rick Ross in his balls, he deserves it. Because why are you commenting and using his child as a punching bag joke for the day? That's weird to me. Rick Ross is weird. Okay? Period. Kenya wants y'all.
Look ahead of me. And
Kenya wants y'all to know. Okay, the rumors ain't real. They keep saying, oh, Kenya's going to lose her salon. She is going to get put out. She's being evicted. She's not paying her rent. She's like, girl, I'm in here. Okay.
Hey, it's your girl, Kenya Moore, coming to you live from the Kenya Moore Hair Spa. Yes, we are open. I know that there are a lot of rumors out there. The devil is busy, child.
Meaning I'm still open.
But tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to be even busier because I am coming to you offering you a back-to-school special for quick weaves only.
Y'all in Atlanta, if anybody is watching and you're in Atlanta, go get a quick weave at Kenya Moore Hair here.
Now get this, back to school special, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for $100, including the hair. 12, 14, and 16 inches only. Now, if you want to bring your own hair, you can, but we are supplying the hair 12, 14, and 16 inches only. Quick weave. We're going to shampoo you. We're going to braid you down, and we're going to give you an amazing hairstyle.
That's a great deal. That's a really good back to school. But like, what's the age cutoff? Because I'm 43. If I go to Atlanta and I say, hey, I'm going back to school, can I get $100 quick weave? I just wonder.
Quick weave only, back to school special this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I must say, if you book outside of those days for this special, your appointment will not be valid and we will have to cancel it. So follow the rules. Okay. I know if the app lets you have that option, no, we're going to have to cancel it because we can't control the dates. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, $100 quick weave special, and you get everything that the Kenya Moore Hair Spa has to offer. We'll see you soon. And Thank you for believing in us.
Well, first of all, that's a great deal. I think she should have been doing this kind of marketing. And I know, look, now you get the echo in the background. Look, I feel like she keeps telling people, you know, her salon is a by appointment only. And I feel like at first she had the doors open in general, and then folk kept popping up for no reason. So I think she chose to keep the door locked to not have riffraff in there. But I'm like, Kenya, you was in Atlanta, okay? If you don't hire some stylists who already have clientele just so they can pay booth rent, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, there's no reason as to why the salon should be open every day. You know what I'm saying? Every day. But again, if she's saying we are open, but it's by appointment only, that's fine. But that could also mean her stylists don't have no clients. Girl, get you some better stylists, okay, who have clients already. But I'm getting, if you in Atlanta, go down there with your $100, take a $10 tip, okay, get you a whole quick weave, 12-inch, 14-inch, 16-inch in your hair for the low price of $100. Okay, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I think she's now realizing I can't just keep doing appointment only. I can't not promote. You need to promote every single day. Have some kind of special every single day. And because when you open up any business, it's gonna be hard sometimes in the beginning or whatever. Cool, but girl, promote every day. Hey, have a style. Can you have a stylist showdown? Okay. Hey, Atlanta stylist, you think you're the best stylist in the world? Cool. On August 51st, we're gonna have a stylist versus stylist just to have events at your thing. Okay, charge people to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you can't have stuff in there every day for regular clients, cool. Have events in that damn space, but have hair events. Okay, bring back the hair show. Okay, have hair shows around there. Have folk who want to show off their styles to be around there. You know, think outside the box. I'm just saying, Kenya. But she said come around there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with $100 and get you a whole quick weave. Now, I ain't had a quick weave forever. Not in forever, okay? But I'm not gonna go to line for one. But I don't know. Because girl, what's gonna happen? Mary J. Blige. Okay, now we know she told them people, look, Misa lying, she ain't shit. It's a fake lawsuit. I didn't do nothing. She didn't do nothing. Votto ain't a real artiste. So we know that her lawyers have responded back to the lawsuit, saying it's fake. Mary on social media. Mary, look, to me, Mary is deliberately and directly talking to me. So Mary said, people don't betray you out of forgetfulness or confusion. Ma'am, no. They do it because they chosen their own desires over yours. They choose their comfort over your pain, but the weight of their deceitfulness will crush them in ways they never saw coming. Mary said, bitch, I'm going to crush you in court. Okay? She showed do. Look, y'all go tell Kenya to hire me, but I need to get paid in monies. I don't want to get paid in hairstylist fees. No, man. Pay me the dollars. Okay? Because you need to have all kind of stuff around it. Yeah, come on now, Kenya, more hair show. Because in the world of hair, it can be done. Okay, so Kenya should hire me as her promotion person for her salon, and Mary Blige to hire me to tell Misa Hilton, you ain't shit, Misa. Okay, and the weight of your deceitfulness is gonna crush you in ways you never saw coming. But I look, because Mary ain't said nothing about Diddy. She ain't said nothing about nothing going on these past few months or whatever, and she telling y'all know, hey, people in their deceitfulness is gonna get in their ass. Joseline want us to think she should be on Housewives. Now look, I feel like, when the thing came up that, someone from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop will be on the Housewives of Atlanta, and they're a Sunday escaping show. Joseline said, it's the fact they won't let me do it is crazy. Joseline, you are a psychopath. You are violent. You are uncontrollable. Joseline is a wild animal in the realm of reality TV. You don't have the common sense to control yourself to be around there. You know what I'm saying? To me, and I know I've seen, because I watched Carlos King, Claudia, and Dustin. I love their podcast. And even though Carlos got my nerve a lot, but when Carlos said, K Michelle from Love and Hip Hop is different than Kimberly, currently. Like who we saw who she was, years ago. She isn't that anymore. She's grown up now and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, because if you think about it, K Michelle has been gone away from our screens for a while. I know she was on the Queen's Court show and wasn't no fighting around there. But I'm saying the K Michelle we knew from Love and Hip Hop, we have not seen that K Michelle in a while. But we consistently see Joseline fussing and fighting every season on Zeus. And she don't know how to fuss correctly. She want to fight. Okay? She don't know how to debate. She wants to drop straws and fight. Okay? She is not a fit for nothing besides Zeus, in my opinion, because she is a fighting fiend. So her saying, I can't believe it's a shame. It's crazy. They won't let me. Girl, for what? They probably can get you insured. The liability coverage. No, ma'am. No. Now I agree with this person say, Nene, no Kenya, no Sheree. Now, first of all, we don't need Joseline, we don't need no Sheree. Now I still feel like they should bring Kenya back. I do not feel they should ever bring on Joseline. Okay, it's a no for me, dog. For when? Forever. Not today, not ever. Okay, so Joseline, stop it. Get your Zeus checks. Fuss and fight over there. Leave us alone. Get out our face. We don't want to see it. Now, speaking of Love and Hip Hop, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I only see the clips on the social medias. Okay. But I have been hearing the rumblings of, Yandy and Mendeecees. I know we had seen, or at least heard, the voice notes of Mendeecees flirting or talking with some woman, which he and Yandy are addressing on the show. Yandy asking that man, you need to say something. You can't be quiet when you're Yandy, that man is okay with embarrassing y'all. And I really need Yandy to understand. Your husband is a sneaky dicky man. Okay? You know exactly what to me, in my opinion, Yandy is fully aware of what Mendeecees be doing. Even if she's not involved in it, she know what he doing. She's aware of what's going on. And to me, her trying to say, speak up for me, love me. No, he ain't gonna do that. You wanna know why? Because you have allowed him to disrespect your marriage time and time again. And Mendeecees said, I don't really care about what folks think. I don't know the folks. But you know your wife. So every time I think about Love and Hip Hop current, I'm like, no one from Love and Hip Hop is even trying to fix shit. It's just we're gonna keep it pushing. We know Mendeecees is a cheater in some kind of way. We know that Kirk be cheating or has cheated. You know what I'm saying? Jock has cheated. Every man on that show has cheated. And every woman they're with, no. So please stop the whole, you should speak up. For what? Once you know he did wrong and you don't leave us out of it. He don't have to come tell us nothing. Because we all know what he did. But I just need folks to understand Child, Yandy, that's your man. That's your man. That's your man. Anyway. Wendy Williams. So Wendy has a IG page. I used to follow it, and then I stopped because wasn't nothing posted. But recently, a post came up. They posted this, and it was Wendy and her son. And I can't read. I can't read what it say. But they had a visit, child. Let me read. Let me pull up on my phone so I can see it better. Cause that shit too small, and I can't see it. It ain't right. Let me see. Let me see. I hate when the word be so small and I can't see it on my screen. It say, we have been quiet behind the scenes, but thanks to you and 866 Truth, we have been working diligently towards Wendy's freedom. How you doing? How you doing? We have received and verified a video that blog is completely wide open. You are about to watch a video that directly contradicts two sworn testimonies by those involved in the conspiracy, recounting the events that occurred in this video. The truth will always prevail. Make sure to comment below. Don't let the algorithm drown out the truth. So again, let's listen.
Hunter, how is it negotiating these stairs?
I do it very carefully, looking at it, and if and it hasn't happened thus yet, but maybe in 10 years, if it's too much to do it, I can go upstairs and exit that way, come back down.
In the elevator.
Okay, got it,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
And
And this just sits here, it's nothing that I use.
yeah, she used to, but we don't use this no more. This is her own wheelchair.
Was that physical therapy?
So they're at her house. You can see they're going to her basement. And they're saying allegedly this is the court-appointed attorney that she fired. Okay. Because they're like, she wasn't doing the right job.
Wheelchair? No, so when she she used to use it prior to working out. That's actually originally why she started working out.
And it's Wendy, her son, in this video.
Because she had trouble walking around because of her ankles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting used to this and how numb it is.
But she's been working out and she hasn't had to use a wheelchair since.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. That is good.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So I just have a couple questions for you about
Questions regarding what?
Just about the guardianship.
The guardianship?
Yes.
Well, I thought this was just gonna be a regular visit. And she thought that too. Like we thought.
Yeah, I thought it was just supposed to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
just looking.
Right, and also just because when we met when she and I met last time, we said that we would continue the interview in New York.
I know, but she didn't know that she needed an attorney present, and she was. I know, but then she spoke to you over the phone, Linda.
I know.
And she told you she didn't want you as an attorney.
So I can't talk to you. I can only talk.
So don't come to my house, and it's supposed to be a home visit. Don't tell her you want to ask us questions, but not her lawyer not here. And you have the lady who she fired here. That ain't her attorney. She fired her.
Okay, so
but I can't.
come.
Privacy.
No, but mom, do you want to speak by yourself?
I want to sit down. My feet.
Okay, so
one little thing. Okay, so it's not about it's the only thing is that it's because of her privacy rights.
I know, and she just told Linda that she didn't feel comfortable.
Is your mom okay with you being here when she talks to her?
Yes.
Okay.
It breaks the attorney.
It does. Okay. It does, but you tell her that it breaks the attorney-client privilege, and then if she's okay with it, she's waiving it to you, so that's fine. I think that's okay. So you understand? It's just she cannot communicate with your mom.
And mom, also, didn't you say that you didn't want Linda as attorney? So why do you even want to?
Wait.
I don't know.
To me, it feels like they're trying to confuse Wendy, because let's get her in a state of not knowing what's going on. Surprise her with the white lady who she doesn't working with her, and then try to force a private conversation between Wendy and the lawyer she fired. It's like, no, not today.
No, but I'm speaking.
I never saw you in person, so I didn't recognize you.
I'm asking her a question.
I didn't. Okay, this is you.
Yeah,
I thought that you weren't here.
I just want to let you know, remember, you do have your own attorney.
Okay,
So
we do. Let's go to the door, please.
Yeah, so you don't have to like all this. Like I get you want to do your job, the court appointed. We respect y'all coming to the house. I apologize for what happened yesterday, but she has her own attorney. This is her. This is not me.
Okay.
And shot her son, realizing, oh, y'all trying to pull a okie doke. No, she has her own attorney. Okay, she don't want to talk to you. You know, she fired you. And when you heard Wendy say, I did not even recognize you because I've never seen you in person. So I did not know you were here. Okay, again, try because you get the mask on, child. Wendy can be confused. Shut the bullshit.
So Wendy, I just want to tell you, so again,
All right, Mom.
when the court's gonna have
Mom.
what's called a hearing, and they're gonna.
Mom,
you
okay,
can keep walking.
you keep walking. No,
I
it's
need
fine. It's fine. She has her attorney. You can call her attorney and let her know. It's
So
fine.
are you?
She hasn't put in her appearance yet. She hasn't put in her
All right,
appearance.
listen, I'm not gonna.
She's gonna put in her appearance tomorrow.
You're
Okay.
kicking me out.
I'm not kicking you out, but
Sir.
no.
Sir.
Ma'am, I'm not kicking you out.
Yeah.
I said you guys agreed to come here to look at the apartment. I was fine with that. You asked to ask her questions. I said,
But you don't need to be okay with any of it.
what do you mean? It's
don't
our
need-
apartment, but it's our apartment.
Sir, I have a job to do.
I know, and she
you're
just said-
interfering with it.
But she gave you an answer.
But you're talking in
But
her
there's one
ear.
thing about my mom. She
It's
works
gonna-
too hard to have to tell people
I know.
the same answer over and
No,
over.
good night.
So,
Good night.
so have a
Thank
good
you.
night, and it was nice to see you. And
That's what we
please,
said.
please stay well.
We should speak so well, not me.
Not you. Wow.
Not me.
Close the door.
All right, I'm gonna remember that,
Kevin,
Linda. Thank you.
Kevin, stop it.
All right.
And and Phil, listen.
Look, I'm just trying to.
No, Phil.
want
I
you to
know. Listen.
understand.
I know, Phil.
All right, so get your mom's attorney to put in a notice of appearance
I know.
ASAP.
I know.
Okay,
I
right
know.
away.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great night, yo.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Hunter.
Bye-bye.
In a world where truth reigns supreme, we call on you, netizens, once again.
Who is netizens? Look, Wendy's son said, not today, bitch. I appreciate him paying attention because and I think that's also how you can easily kind of get caught up in shit and not knowing because they're going to easily say, you know, Wendy, sign this. Say this is okay. And then Wendy ain't paying attention, ain't no lawyer there. Boom, she's caught up and she's locked up. So, Kevin, yeah, protect your mama in all ways, on all days. Because I don't trust some people. And even the man was trying to still have a conversation about it. It's like, no, don't do that. Leave it be, bitch. Eve was on the podcast with, what's her name, y'all? Angie Martinez. Y'all know Eve got married to that man across the pond. She left. We ain't seen Eve. She's over living life, have a son or whatever. And people kept on saying Eve left, married a billionaire, and kind of, went away. And she said, no, ma'am, that man ain't that rich.
Living the soft, are you like the poster girl for the soft life right now?
Yes, in a way that, yes, because I worked on myself. So it's not just soft life because of the man I'm with, because some people have this idea of what my life is because of this man or whatever. It's because I fucking worked hard on my own shit.
That is perception, by the way. That you married the billionaire and you have figured out a life and you've chosen a different life. Down yonder,
but
overseas.
But yeah, that's because everybody says that. And I'm like, first of all, before I met him, and he's not a billionaire. I need to clear that up. He's not a billionaire. He ain't broke, but I ain't broke either. So I'm not gonna be with a broke dude.
Heard you.
You know what I mean? So but he's, before I met him, I was doing work. But because I have him, it helped me do better work because he's a good dude. I'm like really lucky. But beyond that, people who know me intimately, my friends, know that I don't stop working on myself. So I do all do all the things. I do the healing. I do the acupuncture. I do the spinal energetics. I do the Reiki. I do the breath work. I do that's that's my life. That's who I am for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've done the work.
I do the work. Yeah.
Nobody has come along and fixed you or healed you.
Nobody can fix nobody. Period. Anyway, that's just
damn. Somebody I don't know who's watching this right now, but somebody needed to hear that real bad.
Please.
Nobody's coming against you. Nope. You have to do it.
And that's true. I feel like a lot of the conversation was Eve was here. Eve was rapping. She was acting and all that stuff. And then Eve got married. Eve went across the pond, and we didn't really see her over here that much. And it was a narrative that she married this billionaire man and her life has changed. And I like her saying, like, no, I wasn't broke. I worked my own ass off. I did my own thing. I fixed myself. And let's not attribute my happy lifestyle to this man I met. Now, yeah, he made my life good, but it's because I worked on me. And I think the main thing was, don't make it seem as if I was broke and just needed saving. That's not what it was. I feel like people don't remember. Eve was a talented rapper. Eve was acting. Eve had her own clothing line and all kind of shit. So Eve made money and was able to go and be Eve across the pond. And I think it's unfair when we attribute a woman's happiness to some man she met. You know, it's not like her saying, no, one, he not a billionaire, meaning he probably is a millionaire, all once or whatever, but I got money too, big, leave me alone. But we love Eve. Always have, always will. Justin Timberlake. So he revealed that he was diagnosed with Lyme disease. Now, I had to Google Lyme disease because I didn't know what it was. Because I was confused. I was scared. I'm like, is he gonna die? Because I feel like I've heard of it before, but never really looked into what it was. And so he wrote a long post, you know, because his tour is wrapping up. There was some conversation about, oh, he had some bad, you know, tour stuff. I think at least one show, maybe 1 or 2 shows, he wasn't singing as much. And so folk was like, oh, he, you know, whatever. So he said, look, I want y'all to know everything, okay? I've been battling some health, because I'm not reading all that shit. He said, I've been battling some health issues, and I was diagnosed with Lyme disease, which don't really feel bad for me. But to shed some light on what went up against behind the scenes, he said it's been a hard time, but debilitating. He was both mentally tired and physically tired as well. But he said it made sense because he did not know why he was so tired. Why when he was tired, he was fatigued, it was some sickness, whatever, some joint and nerve pain. And he did not know why. It's the Lyme disease. I Googled it. Okay. It's the Lyme disease is a bacterial infection transmitted to humans through the bite of infected black-legged ticks. And I said, well, is he gonna die from a child? Now, again, it says it can take weeks to years to, you know, for it to, you know, start to finish. They do have treatment, you know, for if there are antibiotics or whatever. Early treatment is crucial to prevent progression to more severe stages. So we don't know what stage of it he's in, if he's had it for a long time, if it went tick, tick, boom, child. But he said he was like, should I stop my tour? Should I keep going? He chose to keep touring. Okay. So I think his point was on some shows, if he seemed tired, if some shows he wasn't thinking much, he was sick, child. Lyme disease. Okay. I don't know what else that means for him. Again, he did not say what stage it was, but again, he has it. Okay. So we're gonna hope it gets better. It's a joint pain, swelling. There can be facial paralysis. It can be nerve pain. It can have irregular heartbeat, fainting, you know, eye pain, vision loss, skin. It's like different phases of it, you know, or whatever. So we're gonna wish him good and better and whatnot, because Jesus, please fix it. So yeah, he has Lyme disease. He was diagnosed, child. We're gonna wish better for that man. Okay. Where is Shannon Sharpe? Well, no, y'all, because it's been about an hour. Yep, it's been an hour. So y'all take 2 minutes. I need some more water. Take 2 minutes, y'all, and like the video. And we're back. Let's get to Shannon Sharpe and them. So we discussed yesterday how Shannon Sharpe was fired from ESPN, but even though he had just settled that lawsuit with that lady, and Shannon responded to the news going public yesterday because he wanted them to try to hold off a little bit, but they said no.
Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And this is what the headline's going to be for the next couple of days. So, bro, again, I know you told me this, I don't have to apologize, but I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner.
Now, I feel two different ways. One, I feel like if you knew your brother if the Hall of Fame induction was coming up, I wonder, could you have waited to settle? Because was ESPN waiting to see the outcome of the lawsuit before they made their decision? I wonder if he had waited to settle, would ESPN maybe waited to fire him? Because I'm like, even settling before the Hall of Fame thing was, could have been an updating. Now, also, I feel like, ESPN making the decision to not hold off on announcing the firing until after the Hall of Fame thing. I mean, that was kind of an asshole move because he had already stepped away. You know what I'm saying? So waiting a few days to announce he won't be there doesn't matter. But I also feel like if football starts today, so maybe they wanted to announce it before football conversations on the different networks went about. I'm not sure. I just feel like, Shannon made decisions in his personal life that affected not only him, but his family and other organizations. So you can't expect people to want to help you when they may feel like you put yourself in this predicament. You know what I'm saying? And now it's upsetting probably for the brother, but I also feel like people may not even care in a couple days. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was announced, was it yesterday? Was it yesterday? Let me see. It was announced, I believe, yesterday. So I feel like maybe they won't even care, come this weekend. It already happened. And to me, what's probably worse than you being fired from ESPN and you settling the lawsuit, for allegedly $20 million for that lady. So like it's bad all the way around. We're gonna get into that too. You know what I'm saying? It lost a whole job over OnlyFans model. Okay, OnlyFans model. Okay, it's weird. So that was one thing. If him said, I'm sorry to my brother because again, he's gonna be upstage and blah blah blah. Then A lady is suing Shannon Sharpe, Ocho Cinco, and Shay's, Shannon Sharpe's media company, Shay Media, for $20 million. Now, if y'all recall, Usher was around here, wreaking havoc on people in their relationship. Okay, Usher caused a stir all concert long. Okay, from his sensual, sexual antics at his concert. So there was one lady who was around there. And I remember hearing, the lady around there, she's really married. Her husband got upset and blah, blah, blah. I heard rumblings that I didn't know where it came from, okay? But, what's her name? Jamilta Tillman, Jim. Is it Jim Alita? They named her Jim Alita? Jim Alita? Is it Jim Alita? Is it Jamilta? Maybe it's Jamilta. I don't know. Okay, Miss Tillman, okay, is suing all the people, okay, because she accuses them of spreading false claims on their podcast that she was a married woman whose husband filed for divorce after her interaction with Usher. Now, I feel like, is that a suing thing? I don't know. I said it was back in April. Okay, it was the whole little Usher singing the cherry thing or whatever, and blah 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 blah. But she said the defendants made and disseminated false and defamatory statements suggesting that I was married and that my husband was filing for divorce due to my participation. I am not married, nor am I currently going through a divorce. What, ma'am? Now hold on now. You suing because you not married and you not going for a divorce. I fully get that, but I feel like if what they said wasn't true, were they saying it in jest? I feel like if she was married and they accused her of cheating on her husband, that's defamatory. But if you're not a married woman and I don't know. I'm not sure. She said the defendants' false narratives were shared widely across their platforms, reaching millions, despite my clear and public reputation. Despite my clear and public reputation of the false narrative. But do we know her? I just wonder, because to say, despite my clear and public reputation, what reputation? She is a global director of the Harold Widener Cultural Center. She said she went on a national media to clear her name. Still, the defense continued to post the defamatory content across social media platforms, adding, I made numerous efforts to contact the defense to request a removal of false narratives, but those requests were disregarded. It caused significant harm to my character and my reputation, that their actions showed a reckless disregard for the truth, and she's seeking $20 million. Ma'am, if you're not married, how did that ruin your reputation? Because everyone who knows you would know you're not married. So I'm confused. I'm fully confused. If she was a married woman and they were accusing her of cheating on her husband, and it was like real, to me, that's defamation. But if you're not married and when I heard that, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. But to know she was not married, and I feel like, and I'm not saying for them, but I didn't hear it from them. I kept hearing rumblings of some lady who husband was pissed off. But I feel like it was them joking. So, if the child husband probably pissed on a divorce. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see how you gonna sue for $20 million because your reputation was tarnished, but don't nobody know you. And in your real life, wouldn't they know you're not married? So unless you hide in a secret husband we don't know about, that's a weird lawsuit. I don't understand. But yeah, she wants 20 mil. Child, I don't think she's gonna get it. I don't. Now, will they maybe give her $30K for lawyer fees and for embarrassment? Maybe, but I don't see anyone getting any for her lawyer. Child, I don't know. But yeah, she wants 20 mil. Child, not today. No, ma'am. Tamika of Escape. Kate was around here in an interview, and she telling y'all how 2 Chainz encouraged her daughter to turn down a full ride softball scholarship to pursue music.
Now, is it true that you turned down a full ride scholarship?
Yes.
Tell me about that. And Mom, how did you feel about that? Because I know that was tough.
I mean, I got to high school. I had been playing softball my whole life. And once I got to 12th grade, I kind of knew my heart wasn't in softball. It was in music.
Okay.
So,
All that money we spent on softball, traveling. She did traveling ball where we had to go out of town
travel ball
and play. And the bats were like $600 for a bat.
The equipment is
The
crazy.
equipment was expensive. Like,
Man,
and then for her to tell me, but she waited till after her party. We gave her a good going away party. People brought her money and gifts. They brought her stuff for her dorm. Like it was like we had a great party. And the next day she was like, "I need to talk to you, Mom."
If look, first of all, you owe me money. Okay, if your whole life you've been playing softball, okay, you were supposed to go to college. We had a going away party for you, and the day after your going away party, you tell us you don't want to play softball no more. I need my money back.
I don't want to do it. I said, you want to do what? What you mean? She's like, my heart ain't in it. These are her exact words. She's like, I'm gonna be out there, smoking and partying. I'm like, whoa, you can't tell your mama you're gonna be out there smoking.
I'm mad honest. I've been like that since a kid. I'm gonna let you know what I'm about to put myself into.
That's
so
real.
It's probably smarter for me to just do music.
So I said, do both.
Focus.
I felt like she could have did both.
You did say do both
because you were an A-B student. The only reason why you made a B in that subject because you didn't study.
Yeah, I cried when I got my first C. I know that sounds crazy. That's how much I was into my academics, but I guess my heart just wasn't into that.
Yeah, and I told her, I was like, listen, I'm gonna give you 3 years to figure this thing out. And in 3 years, if you haven't accomplished what I feel like you should, you're going to school and you're paying for it. I'm not paying a dime on college when you got a full ride.
Yeah, and then I was like, you know what? By then I'll be big enough. I'll pay for it myself.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well, I think that's amazing though. For one,
that's stupid. That's dumb. That is stupid. That is stupid to spend your child. My child would have had to go to college at least one semester. At least one.
Just to have that support from mom, I know that's tough because as a kid, you want what's best for your child. Is go to school. Then when you get the full ride, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's huge.
I know.
Now, do you still keep up with sports? Because softball is lit. I see they got the professional league now and stuff.
Now look, and this is crazy.
Come on,
this is crazy. This is a story I don't think I've ever told before. This was a part of me making my final decision. Right?
Okay,
we was at 2 Chainz video shoot. We was at his video shoot. He had wrote a song for his mom, and I was in that. We was in the space where I was trying to really figure out that's what I really wanted to do. So we got in the sprint or whatever with 2 Chainz, right? And mom was like, she got a full ride. Tell her how important it is. He was like, well, what she get a full ride for?
Yeah.
He said, I said softball. He said, well, it ain't really a real career in softball anyway. And she said, that ain't what you're supposed to tell her.
I started jumping on him after that.
I said, wait a minute. I can't do nothing with softball. That's what I was thinking. They don't have, was it the NIL? What's it called?
But it wasn't about at the time.
Nothing.
And that showed how not only is 2 Chainz stupid, the daughter's stupid, and so was Tamika. Because even if she can't play softball outside of college, you're still going to college and getting paid to get an education. Even if you're not going to play ball after college, why not go get a degree and while still trying to do music? You did not have to not go to, because I ain't never in my life heard not one song rap poem, a do nothing from the daughter. That's stupid. Even and I get him saying, you know, there is no career in softball, but she ain't going to college to play softball for life. She got a scholarship because she can play softball. That is the stupidest girl.
So I'm like, but it wasn't about that. It was about you taking on something major.
I ain't gonna
studying
lie.
something, because I told you, you know, even entertainment, sometimes you have slow days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like ain't no tours, ain't no nothing.
Yeah.
The fact that your mama and her group broke up, okay, your mama would needed the money, okay, and we ain't heard not hide no hair from her sister, okay, we ain't heard hide no hair from you. I can't believe she had a full ride to go to college, and she then said, if I go to college, I'm gonna be smoking and drinking. Okay, fine, go, because it wasn't as if she did not go to college, she would not smoke and drink at home. Child.
You don't manage your money correctly, you can end up broke. So I told her it's multiple streams of income is gonna make you continue the lifestyle.
Yeah, shout out to 2 Chainz. He helped me make my
man. 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz, I'm gonna get you. You're gonna be one chain because I'm gonna break a chain.
Child, who is the daughter? What's she doing? Is she a real artist? Because I don't. Let me find the daughter, because I feel like, and one, you probably should have never told anybody, okay, that 2 Chainz convinced your ass to not go to college because there's no future in, what's her name, Tamika Scott, because there's no future in, who is the daughter? Let's see. Official Young Naya. This the daughter, y'all.
Now you come out and grace the stage for her birthday. All right.
She a rapper? Not a rapper using old tunes. Now this is from 2024, y'all. Just so that y'all know. Look, I don't want to get flagged. I'm not knocking anyone trying to be an artist. I want to make that clear. I don't want to knock anyone who wants to be an artist, but I feel like you can say, hey, child, you have no money, but you have a full ride to school until you get a demo tape, until you have something going for yourself. You're going to go to college. You're going to go to college. Let's see. Not skirt.
Been doing this. We do this every day.
Girl, what? Now, why would you say that? Again, I don't know this girl. She has 80,000 followers on the IG, okay, but I don't know her. And again, I'm not saying anyone should be forced their kid to go or whatever. I'm not saying that. But you can't come to you, because my thing is this: if she knew she did not want to go to college, you don't say that after your open house. We didn't got the dorm room set up. We didn't got you stuff for it, because y'all know when you move college get in, you have to be pre-registered for everything, room and board, all that stuff set up. Like DJ going back to college in August, that's already set up. So to come, the day, girl, I am upset because what progress report? What has the daughter done since then that made sense? Why would you not go to college and why not go to college and major in music? Still play softball, cool. But major and get a business degree so that you can handle the business of your music. Tamika, you don't make wild decisions. And you can't force your kids to do shit, but 2 Chainz would have never been able to convince my daughter to do any fucking thing. At all. At all. Girl, a full, y'all know how expensive college is? And even her saying they had already spent all that money on the sport that she was gonna play. Girl, punishment, okay? Punishment round here. Child, Erica, Mena, and Safaree beefing again as always. So Safaree was round here at the Chris Brown concert, acting up. He is so corny. Is he fake crying now? Yeah, he fake crying now. Fake crying with fake jewelry on, fake hairline. Is the beard real? You know, Safaree said Breezy is GOAT status, man. I love being far in the cut in my own world at a good show. Okay. So because he posted himself having a good time at Chris Brown concert, and fake jewelry and fake tears, Erica, look, anytime Safaree put up anything, y'all know Erica Mena gonna come and say something. Okay, Erica Mena said the world's poster deadbeat at the Chris Brown concert, shedding fake tears for yet another man. Clown, ain't you in court right now lying under oath about being broke? Just so you don't have to lift a finger or a dollar for kids you don't even see. Even your mama should be ashamed. Now look, I don't mind anybody talking cash about their baby daddies or whatever. If you have a deadbeat person, cool, fine, or whatever. The issue I have with Erica Mena, there's no need to publicly say anything about Safaree. I think we all are aware he ain't the best daddy, but I also feel like when you do comment based on his post, it makes you look better. And not better as in she has no reason to be upset that he's a deadbeat daddy. But I feel like if you keep focusing on his deadbeat daddiness, it's not going to make him change. I think he likes the attention. I think if she say something about him, he like it. It's weird. I'm gonna keep it pushing. Now, would I take the video to the courts? Yes, I would absolutely take the video of him crying at a Chris Brown concert with Beyonce. Hey, does he say he broke? How do this? If he broke, how do you afford to go to a concert? Who make him sell the jewelry? Hey, if he broke, make him sell all his jewelry. And so it aggravates me when she responds to him when he ain't even talking to her. It's like, girl, let him be a deadbeat. Stop putting us in the shit. Because you posting it on social media, is you trying to include us in y'all shit. And we don't care. We don't. He will all lame. Okay? Lame. The jury itself makes him lame. The big ass ring, the big ass earrings, it's all fake. Okay? The teeth fake, he fake, it's all fake. Okay? No one can convince me that Safaree has real jewelry on at any given time. Okay? Rings, watch, necklaces, earrings, teeth, beard, titties, dick, everything on him is fake. Okay? And I refuse to fuss and argue with fake dick. Okay? That's just my opinion. Beyonce tour made history. Why? Because her Cowboy Carter tour, which I am still so sad is over. The Cowboy Carter tour became the highest grossing country tour in Billboard history. Okay, allegedly, per them people, okay, per Billboard box score, the Cowboy Carter tour raked in $407.6 million with 32 shows. Y'all do know her concert, it wasn't even a full country, state to state wide thing. It was only 32 stops. Okay. They said her last tour, the Renaissance tour, pulled in $579.8 million back in 2023. And that was a full-fledged, and that was a long tour. Okay, a long tour. And so congrats to Beyonce. Okay, congrats to Beyonce. Because to be able to have the highest grossing country tour after they try to tell you, oh, you're not country, don't know, like, girl, we all cared. Had a great ass time. So congrats to Beyonce on her success of the Cowboy Carter tour. To me, was phenomenal. Okay, from start to finish. So congrats to Beyonce. We love her. Gilbert Arenas. So y'all know Gilbert Arenas was arrested, right? For the whole fraud of the poker and whatnot. Okay, news said this.
Former NBA star and SoCal native Gilbert Arenas has pleaded not guilty to charges involving operating an illegal gambling business.
ABC's Alex Stone joining us live here in studio with all the details on this developing story. Alex.
And guys, he was just in court a few moments ago pleading not guilty. He's going to go free on $50,000 bond. Gilbert Arenas is, of course, known for his time in the NBA, playing for teams like the Warriors and the Wizards. Known here in LA as well for his son, who is a star recruit at USC, recently in a violent Cybertruck crash. Federal prosecutors say Arenas and other defendants, including a high-level member of an Israeli transnational crime group, were all arrested today.
Now, Gilbert is pleading not guilty. Okay, he then was running up out the jail. Okay, running up out the as opposed to the bond of 50K. He went to jail in hoop shorts, flip flops, and a t-shirt. Better not.
Can't hold me, baby. They can't hold me. Hello.
Free. He then said, I'm back on the block like it's hot. This ain't got shit to do with me. Just rented the house. Wasn't a part of the festivities. Snitch and Gil coming soon. The fact he like, I'm gonna tell. I'm a snitch. They not gonna get me. Not today. Not ever. Look, you can't look. I don't know if folks know. If you rent your house to somebody who does illegal things, if you have any ties to it, they're going to get you too. Even if you weren't directly involved, if you knowingly rented your house for illegal activities, you are guilty by association because you allowed illegal things to happen in your house and you rented it. Meaning, if you rented it to them and they paid you, they can all say, we paid him through the gambling money, which makes you an accomplice, okay? But he said, bitch, I'm telling. Okay? Snitch and Gil coming soon. I'm telling. I'm telling. Better not.
Can't hold me, baby. They can't hold me.
And the way he dressed, you can tell he had no idea he was getting arrested because, I mean, the shorts, the flip-flops, the t-shirt, child. So we shall see. And him snitching could be, I'm going to tell what they did to get myself off. Because I can't snitch on something I had nothing to do with. I can't. All I did was they asked me if they can rent my house to live there. I thought they lived there. I had no idea they were gambling there. However, if there is any proof that you are aware of the hiring of chefs and hookers and hoes and chefs, if there's any indication that you had anything to do with anything in the gambling realm of that, you come on, going down. Okay, he was arranging the scheduling. It's all the lawsuit they have. Child, and I need folk to know. Deleting something from your text does not delete it. Okay, they can pull that shit back up. Just saying. So yeah, we shall see what happens once he goes to jail. Now he may snitch just to get off. You know what I'm saying? He may snitch just to get off. Diddy is asking for a new trial. The fact that Diddy wants a new trial, he wants a new bond, a new bail, he wants everything from the rooter to the tutor. Okay, because he feel like I didn't do nothing. Okay, so his legal team filed a motion asking the court to either toss out the guilty verdict of the two sex crime whatever, or give him a whole new trial. Child, no, we don't want no. We do not want this. No. I feel like I don't know why he's. If you feel like you didn't do something, I get it. But I feel like a part of this is, did he know what he was found guilty of? He did that shit. Did he trying to find loopholes to get out of it? To me, it's more proof he ain't changed. Because Diddy wants to be able to forever get away with doing dirty ass shit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I feel like actually give him a new trial. Give him a new trial. Call in all the workers. Okay, call in all of them. Okay, I need everyone to snitch. Because truthfully, having a second trial can be worse. But they asking for a new trial or, you know, to toss out the verdict. I don't know why he's doing that. And the fact that folks are saying that Code 45 made his pardon him, which also is aggravating. Again, Diddy ain't changed. He hasn't. So I hope it's all denied. The new trial, the tossing out of the thing, don't give him no bail. Like, it just aggravates me. But if you look, I don't think he's innocent. I don't think he's changed. I don't think that he should get off for what he did. You know what I'm saying? You got found, you were around here transporting men for sex. And they trying to say, well, because he didn't directly have sex with the men, you know, you still paid for the hoes. You paid for the hoes. You had their semen rub on your titties, okay? You participated in the threesomes. Even if you did not put your penis in theirs, you still participated in it. He irks my nerves. He does. Slim Thug was upset at y'all, not at me.
I've never on my kids actually tried to talk to the stallion. I've hyped her up because she's the Houston motherfucking queen, you dumb. Never did I think I want to pay for gifts for a stallion. And she up there with Beyonce, you dumb. Y'all so fucking slow, and y'all be on there talking about me. And you ain't, y'all talking about, oh, Clay got away. I got more money than you, though. You can't fuck with me. Clay got bread. You can't fuck with me, though.
Then why you talking about people's monies? Y'all, Slim Thug is insane. We're going to ignore that man. Lastly, I want to get into Chantel. Chantel interviewed with Carlos King. I wanted to look, I had to fast forward through the thing because it was a 2-hour video. Okay, where my video at? I got some pieces I want us to get into. Okay, because when I was seeing the clips from other blogs, I'm like, well, let me listen and see what part I want to get into. So again, we're gonna watch and listen, and then we're gonna be done. Okay, that's it.
Conversations about there seems to be so much blame with your mom, and there's none with your dad, and the two of them both made the decision to have you. They feel like Jackie gets all the smoke. They recognize that your mom may not have been the perfect parent, but they do feel like a lot of the smoke your mother gets and your father doesn't. Why is that?
Because these are my experiences. I mean, you can very well live in the same house and everybody has a different experience. And I tell a lot of people, like, my dad has had the pleasure of experiencing my mom as a wife. Me and my siblings have experienced her as a mother. And there is a difference there. And if you don't acknowledge that or you don't understand that, I love that for you. But as for me, it was different. Like, I'm watching you put on this like perfect, okay, dad is on the way home. Like, let me make sure everything's good and perfect. Like, I've seen it in real time. You get what I'm saying? And so now, as I said, a mother and a wife myself, especially to someone that's in the same profession, I understand how busy their schedules can get. You get up, you go work out, you got a shooting practice, you got to meet with the coach, it's a full day's work. And I get that. So when I hear people say, well, why doesn't he get any of the blame? Do y'all think that he was just sitting there and he would just watch her like verbally abuse me and go on about his day? Like, that's not the way that it happened.
How we know? How do we know? I feel like, look, once I saw that Chantel was getting, first of all, the fact that they did this so quickly was crazy to me. I also feel like the fact that she wants folks to believe that we have the narrative wrong, that we have the narrative incorrect, and that we are being willfully obtuse, that we are being willfully ignorant, that we're ignoring the elephant in the room. I feel like you made it seem as if your mom was this horrible person and Doug was great. You made that implication. The question was, how are you so pissed at your mom and not your daddy? I think that was a valid question from people wondering, when you fussing with Jackie, you keep saying, I'm gonna call my dad. I'm calling. You know what I'm saying? That was a standard. Well, how you not pissed at him? Because if Jackie was that bad, what did Doug not do? You know what I'm saying?
These instances didn't, I'm telling you, she's telling me, if you don't go clean your room, your dad's gonna kick you down the stairs. And this is clearly he's not here, which is why she's saying that. But I think that the viewers are in some ways choosing to be willfully ignorant and say, well, why are you putting all the blame on her? I'm speaking about my negative experiences with her. If that's the blame, I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it by all means. But I didn't have the same sort of negative experiences with my dad that I have with my mom. And I think that that's a story for a lot of people out here, that you do have a great relationship with one parent and they can very well still be married. I think that my dad has shown over these last 3 decades that he will love her through and through. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to try to love you out of this. I'm going to try to love you into being a better person and all of these things. So I don't want to speak on their marriage. I think that what I did and said on the show in regard to their marriage was very tacky and tasteless. And I think that being a wife myself, like, I don't want nobody to do that to me.
And even her now acknowledging, me commenting on their marriage, me saying my dad doesn't love her, me saying my dad's going to leave her, that was, disgusting, and it was. So I feel like even her saying how she has a different, bond between Jackie and Doug, then why even include Doug in your digs at your mama? If you and Doug have a different relationship, you would never include Doug in your digs. You know what I'm saying? To me, using Doug is just as bad as Jackie using anybody else against you. It's weird. And I think Chantel does not even want to acknowledge she's just like Jackie. She sounds like her and she look like she act like Jackie. Her temper is like that. I think the way we used to see Jackie back in the day, she's just like Jackie. And that's probably why they have this volatile situation. And again, at least me, because I can't speak for others, I'm not trying to defend Jackie as a mom. Because, as she said, her negative experience with her mama is hers. And no one can take that from her. But I also feel like you became Jackie. And you now hate Jackie. But you are Jackie. Your actions on the show was what we saw in Jackie before. And what mama said, if my room ain't clean, dad's gonna do this. Now, again, I told her I didn't have, like, my parents did not threaten us to get us to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have that experience. But I do think some people, and because even when Takari, the other daughter, said, once she found out how Jackie's life was before her mom, she understood how Jackie was. Because some people weren't raised in this loving environment. So Jackie's way of saying clean room or ass is gonna be whooped. You know, that's not the best thing to do. But did she beat you? Because if she did beat you, you know she's violent. Why run up on her? I'm just saying.
So just because I'm upset, like, girl, all right now, like, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, I just saw red and I just felt so like, you're really playing in my face. And like, now I'm just unloading the clip. Like, you know what I mean? And saying things that I typically wouldn't, or that I know that I shouldn't, but here we are. Now we both rolling around in the pig pen, looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And I think the tough times that I have had with my dad over the years, whether it was as a teenager or whatever, he's always apologized. He's always set the standard. He's always taken accountability. If there was something that he did wrong, he stood on that. And he parented me in a way that I respect you. Like, we may not have always had this perfect relationship, but I respect the way that you've treated me. And I tell people, I say, I wasn't raised from, as far as my mom goes, I wasn't raised on respect. I was raised on fear. And because of that, I believe that when you get to a certain age or a certain point in your life, that fear dissipates. And then it's like, I'm looking in your face and I'm telling you, I'm not scared of you.
And I think that point right there, her saying, I was conflicted on two parts, you know, because on one part, you know, she made this house, she was basically raised by her grandmother. And when Jackie's mom, and when the grandma passed away, and she was around, you know, 17, 18 years old, she like left the house and like got a job and like she just left. So part of me feel like if you were raised by your grandmama and that was your safe space because Jackie wasn't around, I'm just wondering, when did Jackie raise you based on fear if she didn't raise you? And if she raised you on fear and your grandmama was your protector and so was Doug, so did no one ever check Jackie on being this, you know, scary, vengeful, violent parent? And if no one did, I can't have a good bond with someone who willfully stayed with the person who tortured me my whole life. So that's why I don't understand how she say her and Doug are good. Because if Jackie was that bad, why did Doug never step in to correct that? If he was such a great dad, and if he did mess up, I'm sorry. I'm saying, how did none of that rub off on Jackie? And if Jackie was gone with Doug, when did Doug have time to be this great dad? So it's weird. It's weird to me. Was Jackie around or was she not around? Was you raised by the grandmama or not? If Jackie was gone with Doug, when did Doug have time to be this great father? And if he was around being his great father, why would he not say, Jackie, don't do that? At one point, she brought up how Doug is the only person who can check Jackie. Why did Doug never check Jackie and how she treated you and your siblings? So, again, how she sees it is her life. I'm just saying some shit don't add up.
And so that's what I think that the viewers aren't really understanding. We didn't have this close, locked in mother-daughter, come lay down on your shoulder, tell you, like, we didn't have that my whole life. We've tried. We've had those moments that you do see on the show from previous seasons where we're out and we're shopping and I got my daughter and we've tried to have those moments, but we don't have that. And that's okay.
Well, you said something earlier that I want to go back on. You talked about your mother being verbally abusive. What did that look like for you as a child?
Again, y'all, it was a 2-hour interview. I only have 30 minutes, so you have to go watch the interview yourself to get the fullness of it. But we just have a little bit chit chat on this part.
I think that, I don't know, I think expressing the things that she said to a lot of people, it would come off as like, that was a typical Black household. Like, your mom put fear in your heart, she talked down to you. But for me, that wasn't the type of parenting that I needed, right? And I've learned through being a mother myself that you have to kind of meet your kids where they are and you have to handle them differently. And so I think that maybe, and this is where I give her grace, maybe you didn't know how to be a parent, right? Maybe you didn't understand how to be a mother, how to talk to your kids, how to problem solve and be kind and gentle and all of those things. I can give you grace.
Can you? Again, sometimes you don't even realize the kind of childhood you had until you're an adult. you don't even realize what's normal or not normal until you're in a different environment. If all you knew was mean, verbally abusive, verbally aggressive Jackie, when did you find out, you know what, that ain't even normal? Because some kids who are raised that way assume is normal. So, and again, this is not in defense of Jackie. What I'm saying is when Chantel talks, she consistently contradicts herself in her upbringing. Her saying, well, I can give grace. Well, you can't if you still feel like she was this horrible person. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she wasn't raised right. Well, clearly Jackie wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe with some issues. But I feel like she uses examples of, well, she was, she was verbally abusive. She wasn't pleasant. She wasn't, warm and fuzzy, which is very unfortunate. But I feel like all of those things that happened as a child to you, once you became an adult, you realize, damn, this wasn't the right thing. And even her saying, we've never had this loving, friendly, great relationship. If that's the truth, then none of this shit should be weird to you. Honestly, if that's the truth, I would have never came into the show. Because we don't have that kind of relationship. So you can't show us like, oh, we're great friends, she's a great mom, and then we believe what you put in front of us. Nah, we're stupid.
But you can't tell me that I didn't experience what I experienced, right? And so that's where the rub comes in, because it's like you want to rewrite history and tell me I didn't do that. I gave you everything. I gave you the best life. You did. You could provide all of the material things. He made millions of dollars and you could provide all of the things. That doesn't take away from the fact that I felt like you was talking to me really crazy, or I feel like you were emotionally abusive, or that doesn't. Two things can be true. Name? Plenty of times.
The B word?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like you tell me at 12 years old to my face, I hate you, verbatim. That is a moment I will never forget.
Why did she say that?
We were just in the middle of one of our many heated arguments, disputes about whatever it may have been, and it just.
Look, first of all, for her saying, look, again, I am lucky enough that I did not have these types of things in my household. Okay. But her saying at 12, we're having a heated argument. I can't argue. I can't argue when I'm at 12. So again, for me, it's like if Jackie was this hard disciplinarian parent, how are you even having an argument? How are you even back and forth in it? At 12, I could never back and forth it with my mama. So I'm like, I fully believe her when she says Jackie was not nice. She wasn't warm and fuzzy. She was harsh. How he talked with her, I fully get that. But I'm like, why would you fussing and argue with your mama at 12? Why that happened? And Jackie, if you told that girl at 12 you hate her, that's insane. That's insane. But I also wonder what was I arguing about? And what did Chantel say back and forth between the I hate yous?
Just got to a point where she was like, I hate you. And I think that out of all of her kids, out of all three of us, I'm the most outspoken. I'm the one that is like pedal to the floor, right? I've always.
Because she's just like Jackie. She's just like Jackie. There was a family on old block where I grew up at, where the family, it was a mama, and she had like 5 kids, and she was absolutely verbally and physically abusive. I mean, cussed them out to high heavens. I mean, all the bad cuss words, okay? And if they talk back, she would beat them. I mean, fist to chest punch. I don't know how CPS did not come and get them kids. I have no idea. But she was a very nice lady. When she was not cussing the kids out, it was very nice, okay? So I've seen the kind of person that she's saying Jackie is. The difference is those kind of parents be beating ass to where the kids would not dare buck up back at the parent. So I just be wondering if Jackie was this hard, violent, malicious mama, how Chantel has so many memories of her and Jackie fussing and arguing. You know what I'm saying? If you first said she put the fear in you, when were you scared? Because it feel like you and Jackie were the same. Okay? It feel like y'all were the same, and that's where the arguments came from. And it feel like you were never really scared of her because of how much y'all were back and forth with. I'm just saying.
Always been that way. Anybody that knows me knows that. And that's something that I need to work on. That's something that I need to change about myself and improve on. But this didn't come out of nowhere. And it definitely didn't happen for the sake of this show. This is who I've been. And the instances that we've had that have been very heated, it's never gotten physical, but it's gotten right there beneath it. The words that are being exchanged, the things that are being said, this is not new. This didn't come out of nowhere. Like, we've had those really hard moments where it's like, I cannot believe that you're my mom. And maybe at times she thought, I can't believe you're my daughter. I don't know.
And this is for me. If I know this is our dynamic, where sometimes you hate me and I hate you, why would I come and do the show? So that's the only part for me that's weird. If I know my mama's crazy, I don't like her, I don't want to come do the show with her because we don't have that kind of relationship. I just don't.
Would you call her the B word back?
I don't think that I've ever called her the B word to her face until we got to Hawaii.
Wow.
I never called her the B word to her face. Meaning I would opt that bitch. That I have never called my mom out of her name. That's mom, mama, that's it. I have never called my mom out of her name.
Yeah.
Your sister said, baby, Chantel was spoiled. My mama looked, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it appeared that, or what was said was, you were the apple of Jackie's eye. You were the one who got everything they wanted. You were the one that they poured so much into, and that you are a mini Jackie yourself. Is that something that you can acknowledge? That you, of all your siblings, you were the one that got the most or was spoiled?
I won't say out of all my siblings because me and my brother have the same mom and dad, right? Mm-hmm. And so for my sister, and I'm going to try to be not careful with my words because my truth is my truth, right? But I now understand that she doesn't want me to speak about her and her experiences. So,
and she said, girl, keep my name out your mouth.
I can speak on mine, right? My sister has a different father. And so not to in any way take away from her experiences, right? But I have a daughter from a previous relationship, and now I have my son with my husband. And I know that for me personally, I go out of my way to ensure that they feel equal. I never want my daughter to be in this house feeling like, oh, mommy and Noah and Daquan are sitting there on the couch and I'm off to myself. I don't play like that. My kids are equal. It doesn't matter who your father is. I'm your mother, and this is what it is. So I think that a lot of what she may have felt came from the fact that you see mom and dad in this household, and no matter if my dad adopts you, no matter if he takes you under his wing, no matter all of these things, you still don't feel like this is really mine. You almost feel like an outsider in some ways. And so for me, I always felt like, how do I get us to be equal? Or how do I get her to feel like she's just as much loved and adored as I am? You know what I'm saying? Like, you see me having these great experiences with my father. I want you to have the same thing. So I can't tell you what her thought process was. I can't tell you what my mom's thought process was. But for me, even if I did have the material things, I still felt just as my sister did. We was both left here with our grandmother. She didn't.
Okay, so she left us both for grandmama. So who raised you? Your mama or your grandmama? Now I feel like, Takari already said that her and Jackie have, made amends and had conversations or whatever, and she has a better understanding of how Jackie was raised. But that don't mean that she didn't feel different in the household.
Take me with her. Like, our experiences, maybe because yours are different, it doesn't change what that we were raised by the same mother. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So much of what you experienced, I probably did too. It may have looked different for you because it is different for you. But that doesn't mean that you got this monster and I got this perfect mother. That's not what happened.
And I think the weird thing about that is, yeah, I agree that it wasn't Chantel's job to make the sister feel, like family. That was on Jackie. Because the thing is, even if y'all have different daddies, it's the same family. You're in the same household. You know what I'm saying? Jackie is still the same. Is both y'all moms. And I can get how people can feel like, well, mama or daddy treated me differently than older or younger sibling. Okay, if I'm the oldest, you the middle one, and then he the youngest, I can get how You are now the middle child. And I think Chantel also has middle child syndrome. Because she's needy, and she needs attention. And she's just like Jackie. And her acknowledging that you didn't get a monster in Jackie and I got someone great. To me, I feel like Jackie fucked up with all three of her kids. I do. I think because she was probably too young when she had the oldest daughter. Once she got with Doug, she wanted to be Doug's wife. She wanted to run behind Doug, and that was traumatizing to probably all the kids. But I also feel like it's all on Jackie. And no one has ever said, well, no, Jackie was probably a great mother. I've never heard anyone say that. But I do feel like they've said as well, but Chantel placated this fake great relationship with her mama until it did not serve her anymore. So it's the contradictions that kind of make us feel like, well, what happened? You know, yeah, she did say I had all the material things. And to Safaree, that probably was, but she gets everything that she wants. She's also here with her daddy, and I'm not. So even if your hardship was Jackie not being as nice as you want her to be, Safaree probably felt like I got less than that.
Now, if that's your experience, I understand that, but that wasn't my experience.
And it goes back to what we say, that children can live in the same household with their parents and have a different experience. And I think that's the case with you, your siblings. When it comes to your father, would you open up to your dad about how you felt about the things that were going on with your mom? You kept that to you?
Never. No, we just got to this point in like my late 20s where I finally started to really open up and be transparent with my dad and tell him, because I started to see him as a person and not a parent.
Now, didn't she say he was her protector, her savior, when they was young? He was oh so nice and whatnot. And now she's saying, well, I didn't start to tell him what was going on until I was in my late 20s. But you had been gone. Because in a different part of the video, she brought up how once her grandma passed away, she left. She left. So your grandma passed away when you was, 18, 19. You then left and was gone away or whatever. It's like it doesn't make no sense.
So because of that, I'm like, okay, I can see where you were coming from. When you didn't want me to do this or you didn't want me to do that, I started to relate to him more. And so I felt comfortable opening up. I felt comfortable saying, yeah, like this is where I was at, or this is what I thought, or this is what I felt. And the difference, and I'm not trying to compare them, but I'm speaking on my experience. The difference between my mom and dad is that he is very quick to take accountability, apologize, acknowledge, understand, even if he doesn't agree, right? And so then you have the polar opposite parent who is deflecting, no accountability. And it's very hard to find that balance because
girl, that's you. That's you. And again, it's her because Jackie raised her. That's her mama. It's probably in her DNA. I'm saying, but she don't even understand that she's discussing herself. And yeah, come on now. That's my issue. It feels like she gives Doug a lot of grace and not Jackie any grace. And if you did not get to a point until you were in your, late to mid 20s or late 20s to have the conversation with your daddy, if you haven't done that with Jackie, how can you then not get her point and how she is? So it do feel like, let's give Doug grace and let's say Jackie stayed a horrible parent. She did not talk to me nice. She was mean-spirited or whatever, would cuss and fuss at me. But if you never talked to your mom as an adult, like you did with Doug, it do feel like you give Doug all the grace and, the same Doug.
On one hand, I don't feel safe to share this with you. And on the other hand, you're like my best friend. It's very hard to find that balance. I read a comment that said, Safaree is sad and Chantel is mad. And I said, ooh,
preach.
Clock it.
Preach.
That's what you see manifesting. Because you don't see me crying and carrying on, you can't have any sort of empathy for me, right? You see the anger and it's like, oh, how could you? But if you don't understand my plight, be grateful for that. I've been through a lot of experiences in my life, and that doesn't excuse my behavior. It doesn't.
You hold full accountability.
Absolutely.
For your behavior.
Absolutely. When I got to that door, I could have and should have turned around and walked out of it. 1000%. When I seen in real life outside of these cameras, you're not going to take accountability. You're not going to acknowledge what you've been doing all season long. Right now, to the outside world, we both look like fools. I just need to go. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. For the first time in my life, I'm toe to toe with who I feel like was my first bully, and I'm not backing down.
So again, she feel like Jackie was her first bully. I get that. You want to fuss and tussle with your first bully. Cool. However, you made the decision to rough and tussle with your bully on a TV show.
Something in me I was spiraling. And that's what you see play out. People think that because I haven't come out and said, I apologize to my mom for this, that I think that I was right in the altercation or in what happened. There are plenty of instances and times during this season where I was wrong, where I could have removed myself, where I shouldn't have engaged. Absolutely. I understand that. I'm not delusional. Like, I know it looks that way and I get it. Like, it's fair. You guys can only go off of what you see. Like you said, I get it. But I know what I have experienced since the start of filming this show. And that's what I think that people fail to realize when I'm on the show and I'm talking about her taking accountability and apologizing and so on and so forth. I'm talking about stuff that's happening right now at my big age, at 32, in Los Angeles, on these cameras, off these cameras. I'm talking about right now in this season. I wasn't even talking about my childhood.
And the crazy part is when Jackie ever said, well, what did I do? What happened? She never could verbalize what she was talking about. The reason we assume it was stuff when she was younger because she never said what had happened. She never said what the issue was. If the issue was shit she was doing currently, why not say that?
Now, if we want to tell the backstory and you want to understand better how I kind of came to this place of not being super close with her, we can do that. But what I was searching for this season was not her to go back and say, you know what, I shouldn't have talked to you like that when you were a kid. I shouldn't have such and such. That was not what happened. And it did not come across that way on camera at all. So that's something that I have to live with. But because I know my truth and I know my intentions, that's the only thing that is keeping me afloat right now.
Child, Jackie would say that same shit. I know my truth, y'all. I know what I didn't mean. You know what I'm saying? She's just like Jackie.
When you got the call to join the show, did you know that, okay, this is going to be an opportunity for me to work with my mom? Like, where were you and your mom's relationship when you got the phone call to join the show this season?
We weren't in a bad space by any means necessary. But
so when Jackie asked her on that couch, when she said, Channy, we didn't have any issues before we got here. She said that to her. The fact that we didn't, Jackie. Now I feel like her saying now, like we weren't in a bad place. So Jackie's point was valid. Like y'all did not have this big issue between y'all before filming.
But we also weren't close. We weren't besties. We weren't, I'm calling her and telling her my business. What I want people to understand is that I moved away from Sacramento and away from my mom when my daughter was 2.5 years old. She's 8 years old now. So me and Jackie have not been living in the same state for 5 years. We're talking over text. We have our phone calls. She'll send the kids Christmas gifts. That's the sort of interactions that we're having ever since.
So a regular family where one person stays in one state and the other one stays in a different state. Okay. My brother stays in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? I have cousins who stay in Atlanta. Okay. I have uncles who stay in Minneapolis. I have an uncle in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Family don't always live in the same state. And when you live in a different state, you have phone calls, you have FaceTime, you have sending Christmas gifts. That's a regular thing. I think the fact that she's trying to make it seem as, well, we weren't in the same household anymore. I did live in the same state, okay? But you saying we would talk about text, phone calls, regular family connection when someone don't live in the same state. That's regular. For real. I also have friends. My goddaughter stays in Georgia. That don't mean she's any less close to her mama who's here in Michigan. So we know plenty of family members whose parents stay in one state, the kids stay in a different state. That don't mean even her admitting, well, I moved, I've been gone for 5 years. Okay, cool. But you never said we don't talk at all. What you said was it's phone calls, text. That's a regular family shit.
So often I'll go to Sacramento. Obviously, my dad, where he works. So Disney on Ice is coming to Golden One Center. I'm going to take the kids, things like that. But me and my mom had not been in the same space for extended periods of time in years. Years. This is not somebody that I'm seeing and everything is great off camera and then I get on camera and I code switch on you. That's not what happened. We were not locked in. We were not where we are now by any means necessary, or I never would have agreed to come and do the show. But I think that I had high hopes that I've been on this show before. I had to sit down with Laura. I've had all the drama with other girls and all of these things. I can come on and show the growth. I can show, okay, like, no, we definitely don't have the best history. We definitely don't have, we have a very checkered past, but we're moving forward. We're trying to move forward. So.
And then what you showed, that's not what we saw. It felt like regular family stuff. You're back in town, you're living around here, what you gonna do?
When my mom reaches out and the producers reach out, this is months in the making. And the first several times I said, no, I'm a newlywed. I have this new baby. Like, I don't need this. Respectfully, like, I get it. Everybody saying I did this for a check. Was I appropriately compensated for my time? Absolutely. I wasn't going to do it for free. But did I need this? No. My husband takes impeccable care of his family. So I didn't come on here for the sake of a check to embarrass Jackie. That's not the way that this played out.
So you want us to believe you had this horrible mom who you're not close with. Y'all be beefing. And you move from one city and state to the other to shoot a show with her, even though you want us to believe y'all weren't in a great place. And it wasn't for the money. You didn't need it for the money. You were already in a custody battle with your daughter's daddy. Why do the show? So that none of that makes sense. Y'all not on good terms as you want us to believe. You don't need the money, which you want us to believe. You're in a custody battle with the daddy, which you did not want brought up on the show. And so why come and do the show?
All came and found me. I was in Arizona, out the way for years. I was never in the blogs. I was never in no drama. I was out the way for years. I was living a happy, peaceful life, letting my husband love on me, letting my kids build memories, and I was good.
And you chose to leave the peace of your good life to come be around your toxic mama, and you didn't need the money. And you don't like the spotlight. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is not in no defense of Jackie. This is just Chantel making dumbass decisions and lying. Because on what world does anyone live a quiet, peaceful life? That's how you mean. So I have a quiet, peaceful life here. I'm gonna move into the White House. Yep, I'm gonna leave the quiet peacefulness of my space here. I'm gonna move into the White House and coexist with Code 45. That's stupid. No one leaves their peaceful life they said they had to go film a toxic reality show with a toxic mama.
Y'all came and found me. I turned it down multiple times. And through continued encouragement and petitions and so on and so forth from my mom. No, come on, Dana, we're going to do this. It's going to be great. It's going to be positive. Come make your little money and go about your business. I'm talking to my husband about it. I'm like, what do you think? He's like, I mean, I don't know. You know, same thing my dad said. You know how y'all could get. I don't know if it's the best idea, but if you.
So your husband and your daddy said, I don't know. And you did it anyway. You live in a peaceful life around here. Y'all subscribe on stuff. You live in a peaceful life around here. But you want us to believe that you left the peaceful life to come sit and fuss and film with your mama, even though both your husband and daddy say, I don't know, you know how y'all get. Meaning y'all don't get along. You left for a reason. Why come back?
Her father wasn't even into the idea.
Oh, hell no. All right now, because he knows like we don't have the best track record. We don't have the closest relationship. And he knows that we're both firecrackers in that way. He knows his child and he knows I'm not going to back down. And once you take me to that point, I could give up about these cameras and anything else. I don't play like that.
You are your mama's daughter.
You can see in her previous interviews where she says, my daughter is a very private person. I begged her to be on this show. So I wasn't looking for this.
Yeah, no, I interviewed your mom, of course, and your mother said what you said, like she reached out to get you on the show. Your mother did confirm that to me.
So you brought me here to play in my face.
That's how you felt, or do you still feel that way?
I mean, we could get into the meat and bones of what happened. Absolutely, that is what happened. You played in my face.
The one thing that I still do not understand, and again, as a producer, I know that oftentimes a lot of things aren't shown, and I want you to have the ability to address it. What was the moment this season where you felt like things took a turn between you and your mom?
The first scene.
In the apartment?
Now, put your producer hat on.
Okay.
Follow me.
When you say put your producer hat on, meaning get ready for the bullshit, okay? Because it's not real life. Put your producer hat on. It's a show.
Here. Now, everybody is saying from the first scene that she came in, you act like you was on 10. You were so disrespectful. Understand something. My mom met my son when he was 7 months old. When she comes in the door and I say, oh, you got to warm up. That's me, for real, as a mama bear. I'm not going to put him in your arms for the sake of these cameras and have him on here howling and carrying on. I want him to be comfortable. I set out when I signed up to do this show to really establish the real in reality TV. I understand that people have grown accustomed to seeing these women get on here and sit down and fight and argue and throw drinks and go to dinner and talk about the same thing. And that wasn't what I signed up for. I'm going to be my real, true, authentic self. Whoever likes it. Whoever doesn't, that's okay too. So you're seeing these little, nuances or whatever in our relationship. This is our real dynamic. And I'm not going to get on here and pretend for anybody.
Are you sure? Because if your mama don't know your kid and met the kid for the first time at 7 months, you not coming to my house anyway. Because you don't know my kid.
Here you go. Here's grandma. I wasn't going to do that. Why would I do that to this is my real son. This is not no prop, baby.
And how old was your son at the time of that scene?
I think 9 months postpartum. So he was like 9-10 months.
So,
right in there.
So your mother met your son for the first time?
At 7 months.
So your mama met your baby at 7 months. 2 months later, she's around again. Look, there are many grandparents where the parent lives in Alaska, the kid live in Tuscaloosa, okay, and you don't meet the baby for about a year. However, it's still your grandmama. Hey, baby, let me hold it back. Anywhere go, the first time you meet a baby is the first time you meet a baby. If the baby's a week old, a month old, or a year old, let me see the baby. And to me, you can't tell me that Jackie and Duck and them did not at least see the baby on FaceTime. And if the baby only 7 months, it's a fucking baby. Jackie ain't a stranger like that. You know what I'm saying? She's not the fucking the technician at the auto zone.
Was that the second time she was around?
That was maybe the third, right within there. I think that she had because obviously I had been in LA in that apartment well before we started filming, right? Like a week or two or whatever. She had.
Girl, your story not straight. I had been there well before about a week. That ain't a long time. If you've been there for a week, bitch, you just got there. Okay. So was it the first time she met him? The second time she met him? The third time? Was he 7 months? Was he 9 months? Was he 13 months? She did not have her story together.
Seen him on different occasions, but not. My mom is not picking up my son, taking him to the park.
She didn't ask that. Look, child rewind it. She gave 14 different excuses that did not make sense. First, it was she hadn't met him before. Then it was she met him before. Then it was she met him once. Then it was she met him at 7 months and then 9 months. Then it was she met him a few times. Which one is it?
Was that the second time she was around?
That was maybe the third, right within there. I think that she had because obviously I had been in LA in that apartment well before we started filming, right? Like a week or two or whatever. She had seen him on different occasions, but not. My mom is not picking up my son, taking him to the park. This is not one of those sort of situations. You can come over and see him. You can come and visit him. Absolutely. Like I'm not going to keep you from your grandkids, right?
So what was the issue of her walking in and saying, grandson? She holding the baby in the damn house.
But you also don't have that sort of typical grandparent relationship with him. right? She may have had that with my daughter because I lived in Sacramento at the time. So for the first 2.5 years of her life, you are able to see her. You are able to have these great experiences as a grandparent. But when it comes to my son, that wasn't the case. So fast forward, she comes in, she sits down, we're having our little, talk, whatever. She says, and I haven't said this publicly. She says, Mena, I don't mean to pry, but how are things with, and insert my daughter's father's name. She says, how are things with Stacy? And I'm like, I know you fucking did.
Now, remember, y'all, she told y'all she wanted to come on this show and bring the real back to reality. But now you're upset that your mama asked you a real question about your real life because you was going through a real custody battle with the daughter's daddy. Okay.
Now, mind you, leading up to this, we've had multiple conversations that we will not talk about that on this platform. I'm in the thick of a custody battle. I'm going through nobody out of my grandmother's 9 kids. Nobody in our family has ever had any sort of custody, court, anything family-wise. They always figured it out amongst themselves.
So you didn't want to discuss your real life. You didn't want that piece of the reality. And if I'm going through a custody battle, why would I go do a TV show? And you know what I'm saying?
So here I am in the middle of this very heavy, serious situation. You promised me that you are not going to talk about it. You promised me that you will not bring it up. And if somebody else brings it up, you could just get up and you could just walk away, don't engage. And you get in here in the first scene and you throw me under the bus. Now, as a producer, we don't know what's going to be used. At this point, I don't know if they're going to use it. I don't know if this is going to get legs. I don't know if now they're going to take this and say, Brandy, ask her about her daughter's father, or such and such, ask her about the court case. I don't know how this is going to play out. But I know that you and I had multiple conversations leading up to the start of filming. We agreed we would not talk about this.
This is not reality. You have 2 kids, one ain't on camera. We can't ignore you have a kid. Oh, why she not here? Oh, because child, the daddy, you know what I'm saying? Now, could Jackie have not asked her? Absolutely. I fully get if y'all had a conversation about don't bring this up, she could have absolutely not brought it up. But I think you can't say, I want to bring the real back. But we had a whole conversation about what not to bring up, even though it was real. I feel like the question was simple. How are things going? Well, we're still battling you. We're going to see what's going to happen. Okay, cool.
Understand, my daughter has her father. My sister has her father. Mom, you have a child from a previous relationship, just like I do. Do you want me to come in here and sit down and say, so how are things with Tyrone? Have you talked to him lately? What is the drama like? That would have been so messy.
Well, that would have been dumb because she don't talk to the daughter. It's an adult daughter. And Jackie's relationship with your sister's father doesn't dictate Jackie's life now. Your custody battle with your baby daddy dictates your life currently, and you're on a show about what's going on. And was her husband ever did we ever see the husband on the show? I feel like the husband wasn't around there either.
That would have been so crazy and tacky on my part as your daughter. So you can do that to me and I'm just supposed to eat it. Now, you and Dustin both said she's very well versed at this. She knows what she's doing. She knows there are certain things that you just don't, because you never know what's going to be used. So in that moment, that it clicks in my mind and I'm like, here she go. Yet again, you're not protecting me. Yet again, now you're taking me back to my childhood. Now I'm feeling exposed. Now I'm feeling naked. Now I'm feeling like the very person.
How are you feeling naked about a public situation?
Person that begs me to come here is going to play in my face for what reason? If we really get to the nitty gritty of things, out of everybody on this cast, technically I am the basketball wife.
Did we ever see your husband? Did you go to a game?
My father played basketball, but he's a coach now. Nobody else on this cast is married to someone that is currently in the league. That's not me tooting my own horn. If we're talking about the title of this show, that's what it is. You had so much meat and bones and things you could have talked about. What is life like with your husband living here and you living there with?
You could have done that too. You could have came in discussing your life as a basketball wife, but you didn't do that. You expected to me Chantel expected to be treated as the baby Jackie. We're gonna have her in high regard. You know what I'm saying? She's married to a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? You did not show your real life on here. To say I'm the only person on the show who is currently married to someone who's currently playing. Girl, the show was created with women who were not with anyone playing basketball. So, girl, shut up. Shut up.
The kids, and there's so much we could have talked about. Why would you come on here and bring up my daughter's father when you know the dynamic? And you think that I'm not going to feel some sort of way? You know me. So I didn't allow that to ruffle my feathers on camera. I gave her a very, diplomatic answer. Just, we're trying to work through this as a family. Hopefully, the judge will approve the relocation and whatever, as best as I could wrap it up in that moment. While in my mind, I'm spiraling. I'm like, this lady did.
And then Jackie did not bring it up no more, I believe, the rest of the season. So, yeah, bring it up and get it out the way. Let it be that. You gave a simple answer, and had you not said this, it wouldn't have been a big issue, because it wasn't as if your husband is pissed at you because you can't leave the state because your baby daddy don't want you to. It wasn't that. It's a simple custody back. It ain't even custody. It's a move, it's custody, but like a move order. She wants to move somewhere and she can't. But girl,
not just do this. When we wrapped filming, I called my dad, I called my brother, I called my husband. I said, she's on some bullshit. She's on some bullshit. I don't know why she brought me here. I don't know why she would do that. And collectively, they're all like, what? There's no way she got on camera and said that. They did not believe me. I said, on my children, this is what she just got in here and said. And you know you're wrong, which is why you led it with, I don't mean to pry, but you're being messy. You are being so messy right now. For what reason? There was 1,000 things we could have talked about.
Did you bring up any of the top things? Yeah. It could have been, hey, get it out the way first. So no one can come on and say, girl, your baby daddy got you out here. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Get it out the way. And for her to say after that, I called my daddy and my brother. So you're used to bringing in the family to fuss about you and Jackie. You consistently include Big Duck and Little Duck in y'all shenanigans.
If you guys sold me on the idea that you're trying to bring back basketball wives, you're trying to bring it back into the fold and talk about the things in the NBA and so on and so forth. Why are we not talking about that? What does my ex and whatever we have going on with my minor daughter have to do with right now, today?
You can't leave the state with your daughter, bitch. Then you not. You know what I'm saying? To me, asking, hey, how's court doing? Is it going okay? Okay, cool. Now that that's out the way, bring up your husband. Yeah, we good, but me and my husband, blah, 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 blah.
Did you confront your mom after the scene was over?
Absolutely. Are you serious? No, Banna, I did. I said, Mom, so you mean to tell me that we haven't had multiple discussions? Well, I didn't know that. I was just saying it so I could just get it out the way.
So your mama was there in person, and even her phones, you called your mama after the fact. You didn't check her in scene or after scene. You called her later on and said, Mom, I can't believe you did that. I wanted to get out the way.
Because one thing that, and this is me being real with you, one thing that all of us collectively who watch the show and love your mom's personality on the show is your mother's a great reality star.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So we know that your mother has the ability to bring up stuff or say stuff or do stuff for the entertainment of the show. So in that moment, you felt like you're playing it up for the cameras.
You're playing it up for the cameras with me, your blood daughter, who we're supposed to be. The storyline is that we are rebuilding and I'm living in the same building. You're able to.
This storyline, I thought you wanted it to be the realness, but this storyline of us, girl, okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
no, I do.
That is the plan. And then you come in here and you throw me under the bus like I'm one of your castmates. I don't really understand where you're coming from.
Got it.
But now going forward, you still want my loyalty. You still want me to hold you in this high regard and paint this picture that everything is great between us. I'm not doing that. That's not what you're going to get from me. But even after that, there were still multiple scenes where I tried. I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'm just not going to feed into it. I'm just going to, she had a photo shoot. I went and supported her. I didn't come on camera and melt down about that. I didn't say, how dare you do that? I let it die in hopes that they're never going to use this. Like maybe they.
Did you really?
just won't even pay it no mind and just go on, right? But because this is my first go round as a cast member, I decided ultimately later on in the season to bring it into the fold and to say, listen, so that there's nothing, nobody can come and put no card down on the table for me. This is what I'm dealing with. I am going through a custody case. I am trying to get approved for relocation. I do have judges and so on and so forth in my life. This is what's happening because I don't know what they're going to use. But I know that you, as the mega incredible reality star that you are, you know the way that this game goes.
And let's also point out, Jackie didn't ask her that in front of anybody. If Jackie was really being messy and wanted it to be something, she would have asked her that in front of the girls. She asked you that by yourself at your house just to have it out the way. Messy Jackie would have asked you, or she would have went and filmed with the other girls and I need to ask Yandy about, you know what I'm saying? She didn't bring it up to anybody else except you.
So to do me like that, I really couldn't stomach it. And I think that coupled with, and this is also something that I've never talked about publicly, and I don't know if she will feel a way about me doing this, but off camera, on the way to Hawaii, Jackie tried to get Brandy to bring some tea about me from a mutual friend that they had. A mutual friend that Jackie and Brandy had came to Brandy and said, I got some tea on Jackie's daughter. Now,
so, hold on.
The tea was ice cold. He said I was a lesbian. I'm not. But I can go ahead and put that out there. She tried to get Brandy to bring it into the fold. Brandy told her no at the airport.
So you just said someone that both Jackie know and Brandy know went to Brandy and told Brandy she had, you know, I'm saying he had tea sent. Oh, your child Chantel like pussy. She want the coochie. Which meant Brandy had to have told Jackie. Because you said the guy told Brandy. You didn't say the guy told Jackie and Jackie told Brandy. You said a mutual friend of theirs told Brandy some shit about you. Which meant Brandy told Jackie. And Jackie probably said, well, yeah, bring it up. To shut it down. That's what they do.
On the boat scene, where you see her sitting there, she tries to get Brandy to do it again. Now, this time it's on camera. And Brandy's yelling at her, and we're like, what is going on? And Brandy's going, no, Jackie, I'm not doing it. No, Jackie, I'm not doing it. After the fact, it shared with me that, yeah, she wanted me to bring this tea about you to the show.
Because Brandy told her about it.
Oh, so you're playing a really dirty game right now. And because you've been doing this so long, you know I'm going to get her to the point of no return. She's going to give this season all she's got because she really don't have no filter and she really don't care about these cameras and she really doesn't. I'm not articulate in that way. Maybe I'm well spoken, but when I'm mad, I'm mad. I'm not going to sit here and play with nobody. Like, I get that that's what y'all like to do, but I don't like to do that. I told Brandy that in Vegas. Everybody don't play like that. I know that that's what you guys are used to, but I don't play like that. So maybe this isn't the platform for me. Maybe this isn't the space for me because I'm not about to play with y'all. Hold on. Out of all of your kids, you know that I'm the least impressionable. You're saying things that you know are going to send me off. And if that was you wearing your producer hat and hoping to get good TV, here we are.
When your mom kept leaving scene by scene by scene by scene.
Don't piss me off.
No, I don't. Again, I'm asking because, again, even on my recap, and I'm glad you watched it, I kept saying, I'm only going to base this recap off of what I saw. Because the beauty of my podcast is I am a producer. Mm-hmm. And I know that you can't show everything. So I kept saying, what I'm seeing with Jackie is every time the conversation is about her daughter, she walks up to leave. Yeah. Was that just to play the audience, you think? Or
1000%. And that's why when I released my statement, I said this was a masterclass in narcissism. You are dealing with someone who has been doing this for the past decade. She is very good at her job. That's why so many people love her. I don't take that away from her. You are a mega reality star in every shape and fashion. You are when you think of Basketball Wives, you think of Jackie Christie.
So why would you come and do the show if y'all don't have the best relationship? You know how she is. You say she's a massive manipulator, whatever. And you also know this is her wheelhouse. This is like, I'm not going to go and box Clarissa Shields. Wanna know why? Because she's a boxer and I'm not. I'm not going to go into anyone else's house and what they do really well and try to box with them. I'm not going to go into anybody's ER and try to do brain surgery with a neurosurgeon because I don't know how to do it. They know how to do it. So the fact that she's giving all Jackie, you fully know who your mama is, and you still chose to come to her house and play the game, and you're upset with her for being good at her job. And her job is to make the show be good. And if you say y'all wasn't that cool, y'all wasn't that close, why you surprised that she treated you like a coworker?
I will never take that away from her. But because you have been doing this long enough, I know that you know what you're doing. On top of the fact, you're taking a page out of my book. In the previous seasons that I haven't been on, and you're calling me after the fact, I'm giving you this advice. Mom, if you just get up and walk away from there, they'll just be sitting there screaming in an empty room. Just get up and walk away from the table. And now you're going to wait till I get on here and use my advice against me?
And we have seen Jackie get up and leave plenty of times. They always say, Jackie will either cuss you out or she'll walk away. So she didn't use your advice with you. She used it before in general.
Oh, Carlos, I was spiraling. I'm not even gonna hold you. Watching that back, I'm like, girl, you was melting down. I was just losing it because I just couldn't believe, like, you really gonna get on here and play. And out of all of the years, you never get up and walk away. Everybody knows you are willing to engage. You're gonna throw French fries, drinks, whatever. You're gonna sit here and do this back and forth all day. But now that you know, wait a minute, I got it right where I want her. She's so mad, she ain't gonna be able to articulate herself. She's gonna be sitting here spot. I'm just gonna get up and walk out.
I took that as I'm not going to give the audience a moment between me and my daughter.
Okay.
Right. Her and Jackie don't talk, as she say, but she just said she would call me and talk about the show, and I'm giving advice. So y'all have a relationship. Again, she be making shit up as she go and don't realize she's getting caught in lies.
Well, that's not
so you're saying that's how we all took it. We all took it that she is walking away from the audience seeing a dispute between mother and daughter. That's how we took it.
If in your heart you really do believe that, why do you keep coming back to film if you know that I'm going to be here and you know that this is going to be the topic? If you really felt like I'm not engaging in this in any way, shape, fashion, or form, I'm not going to discuss me and my child and so on and so forth, why do you continue to engage?
Because she at work. Why did you come to your mama's job pissed at your mama? Why would you think she's going to stop working because you want to argue with her, but not articulate why you upset? And when she try to give you a chance to say why you're upset, you get pissed and you want to have a fight. And probably because, as you told us before, y'all have them knockdown, drag out fights. She don't want to have that on camera. If Jackie was really being the mastermind star she is, she would have engaged and fought you at every turn. If she's really the person you say she is, she would have never walked away from fussing with you. So your notions don't make no sense, Chantel. Either she's a master manipulator who likes fussing with you and will do whatever for the show, or she ain't. Because if she was really trying to make the show be what you saying she was doing, she would have never walked away. She would have never walked. She would have fought you every time. The reason she walked away is because it was you, and she probably know how y'all fuss and argue. It can't be both ways, Chantel. It can't. And again, I'm not defending Jackie as a mom and how she raised Chantel. I'm only speaking about the shit on the show.
Why do you continue to come and show up? Never once did you say, if Shannon's going to be there, I'm not going to be there. If this is going to be the topic of discussion, I'm not filming. You can pull your trump card. You can be that one. You have earned that position on this show to be able to call the shots and kind of say how you want things to go.
Jackie not going to not show up because she don't get paid. She going to show up and leave and get a check. However, you as her daughter, because I'm not going to fuss with my mama. It ain't even worth it because she's crazy. Jackie seemingly would walk away when she felt like you was on some bullshit and wanted to fuss and argue, and she ain't want to do it on camera.
Now, you may not be executive producer, but you are Jackie Christie. You showing up just like I'm showing up. But I'm the one that looks crazy because you get me right to that point where I start to ask the very logical questions, and you know where I'm going with this. Did you call me impressionable? When we were in Vegas, was you talking about Brandy? She knows I'm a very logical person. I'm going to ask. And I know everybody was eating me up because I used rhetorical wrong. I did. I definitely did. Watching it back, I said, well, I didn't go to college. So. Y'all got that. Y'all ate me up. Okay, fair enough. But that's all right. I need to do better next time. But the point is that because you know that you've got me to this point of like, she's not, she knows me in a lot of ways, right? You know that I'm not going to be able to properly articulate myself because now I'm mad.
So do you come on now? Do you usually articulate yourself or you don't? It can't be both ways. It can't be. When I'm pissed, y'all know I get tongue tied a lot. I don't have a speech impediment, but I get tongue tied a lot. And so if y'all notice sometimes when I'm talking, I try to slow down my words. But when I'm pissed, perfect speech. If I'm upset, I can say all the words just perfectly out my mouth. Okay. So I feel like her saying when I'm upset, I don't articulate. And when she says, you know, but Jackie knows me, it's like, right. And you know, Jackie, you can't have it both ways, Chantel.
Now I'm not worried about story. I'm not worried about buttoning this up. I'm not worried about explaining it to the viewers. Now I'm just looking at you, mother to daughter, like, are you serious right now?
And you guys are in your mother's hotel room. When you walked into that room, Chantel, what was your sole intention that you wanted to get out of that conversation with your mother?
What she gonna say? Y'all take a whole minute and like the video. And we're back. Okay. I had to put in a little like the video around here. Let's see what her thought process was going around in Jackie's hotel room.
I didn't go in there really with any intention. You have to understand that the confrontation that happened in the hotel room came right after us sitting down on the terrace, and I had on a black suit, and she walked away and said, you know, when the teacher is ready or whatever, the student will appear, whatever it is that she said. I know she was reading that where she walked in that scene because she wanted to come across very poised and like in exactly how she came across. You understand what I'm saying? I know that this was prepared in her mind. So when I went up to the room, I'm like, girl, what you got for me today? Like, I'm already mentally checked out in my mind because you're playing. You know what? You called me up here to literally play into whatever narrative it is that you want these viewers to go with and send me on my way. We're not going to get to any real resolution here. We're not going to get to the nitty gritty of how we got to that point this season.
Then why go to her room? If you know your mama full of shit, if you know she don't want nothing, if you know she playing for the cameras, why go to her room?
So when she's asking me, well, baby, what is it? And everything that you and Dustin were saying, you're not asking me because you really want to know. You know what happened. You were here. I'm not talking about my childhood. I'm talking about right now on this season today. Well, we weren't cool before this. I don't know. You tell me, were we cool before this?
Now, y'all know earlier she said we weren't on bad terms. We were okay. You know, I lived out of state. So which one is it? Were y'all on bad terms or not?
If we were so cool, why would you do that to me? It's not adding up. And now I am spiraling. Now I do feel crazy. Now I do feel all of these things because what? No.
So when she said get up and leave, and that's a much better exit.
Again, you're in your producer role. You don't care that I'm your daughter. You don't care that I'm really for real upset in real life. You don't care all of the things that you've done to me leading up to this. Now you're sitting here and you're producing this scene. That's a much better exit. Okay, sweetie. Like, yeah, I am saying things to her, but do you not realize that she's saying things back? Like being said out of her own mouth. Jackie cannot be bullied.
Bye, Chantel. Leave, Chantel. Go ahead, Chantel. That's a better exit, Chantel. Okay, Chantel. Bye. Bye. You could have left.
I was not bullying her. I treated her in a way that watching it as a daughter, I shouldn't, correct? I understand that. But this person is not innocent. She's not sitting here like this meek mother that's like, why would you do this to me? Why are you treating me like this? You played.
And ain't nobody ever called Jackie meek or innocent. Okay, no one has ever called her meek or innocent. The issue is watching the show. Every chance you got, you enjoyed fussing with your mom and never told anyone what it was about. You never mentioned it was about what she was saying in the season. And who gives a fuck if your mama talking cat shit about Brandy and being friends? That's the show. They all talk shit behind closed doors, and then in scene, they friendly. You never articulated what the issue was. You never did. So when she kept asking you, what's the issue, Shanny? Why not say you keep fucking with me in scene and bringing up stuff and blah, 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 blah. You never did that.
In my face like I'm a stranger in the street, so I'm treating you the same way. Why do I have to treat you? Why do I have to parent the parent? Why do I have to treat you with more respect than you give me? I understand now through months of healing and therapy and all these things that I have a burden to be better. Mm-hmm. I understand that now, but in that moment, oh, lady, oh my, that was a really heavy night for me. That was a really dark time. And I know that I didn't come to that place out of nowhere. And I didn't go into that scene. I didn't even come onto this season with the intent to embarrass Jackie, to trick her out of her spot. All these things that people are saying, that was never my intention.
Calling her Jackie, is that y'all thing?
Yes. Okay. Which is why I'm like, now mind you, y'all want to pick and choose. Ming get on live and she called her mom Vicky. And don't nobody blink twice. But when I call Jackie, no, I call Jackie at Christmas time. That's just art. Like, it's never.
That's y'all dynamic as child.
Yes.
Okay.
It's never been in a disrespectful way. I understand watching that. It's like, oh, she was yelling at her and she called her Jackie. I answered the phone when we on good terms. Jackie, what is it now? Like, that's.
But we also seen you call her mom. So clearly there's some kind of disconnect from mom to Jackie.
Just our dynamic.
That's all dynamic. Okay. Yeah. I want to put that. Oh my girl. Okay. So obviously, listen. When I saw the moment of you and your mother watching that, because it was something like, I don't want to see this. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see this. I felt that way as a viewer. In that moment, of course, people are saying, Chantel, you deserve it. You pushed your mother, and people are even saying, Chantel, your mother should have done worse to you. When that happened, your mother, and I want, did she make contact with you?
She didn't. She pushed me into the camera. Like she balled up her fist and.
So did she make contact? Yeah, she pushed me into the camera. Okay.
Kind of tried to, like, she was aiming for my head, but because I ducked out the way, I fell into the cameraman. That's how the finger ended up bleeding. Like, it wasn't.
So did she hit you or not? Again, the question was, did she hit you? Was it contact? You went from, yes, she hit me, to I fell into the camera, to she tried to hit me in the head. But which one is it?
I'm like, now mind you, y'all want to pick and choose. Ming get on live and she called her mom Vicky. And don't nobody blink twice. But when I call Jackie, no, I call Jackie at Christmas time. That's just art. Like, it's never.
That's y'all dynamic as child.
Yes.
Okay.
It's never been in a disrespectful way. I understand watching that. It's like, oh, she was yelling at her and she called her Jackie. I answered the phone when we on good terms. Jackie, what is it now? Like, that's just our dynamic.
That's all dynamic. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to put that. Oh my girl. Okay. So obviously, listen. When I saw the moment of you and your mother watching that, because it was something like, I don't want to see this. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see this. I felt that way as a viewer. In that moment, of course, people are saying, Chantel, you deserve it. You pushed your mother, and people are even saying, Chantel, your mother should have done worse to you. When that happened, your mother, and I want, did she make contact with you?
She didn't. She pushed me into the camera. Like, she balled up her fist and kind of tried to, like, she was aiming for my head, but because I ducked out the way, I fell into the cameraman. That's how the finger ended up bleeding. Like, it wasn't, there was no real contact that was made other than her pushing me into the camera. Her intention was to probably sock me in between the washer and dryer or whatever they on here saying, but that's not the way that happened. It didn't land. I wasn't, as you see in the next scene, like, it didn't happen.
Even her going back, she hit me, she beat me up, but your finger got messed up by you falling into the camera, people, or you fussing and throwing phones at Jackie. You could have hurt your finger yourself.
Why did you go back and tell the girl she hit you?
I think that for me, and what I want people to understand is, I can see how it looks like I was a liar. When I left that scene and I went back down there and I explained to the women what happened, this is 15, 20 minutes after this altercation with my mom. Now, should I have left that room and went to my own? Absolutely. That should have been the end of it, right? But as a producer, I think you can understand, sometimes when you're in the moment.
As a producer, because I got to do it's a show.
And we're filming this show, if you got the mic on, like, you're trying to kind of complete this story, if that makes sense.
So I will say that does happen, yes. So at that moment,
if I just fought my mama, or if me and my mom just got into a physical altercation, I'm not thinking about finishing the scene. I just fought my mom. But your thought process was to finish the scene. You wanna know why? Because it's a TV show. Because just like Jackie, you know how TV goes. We didn't see Jackie film shit after the fight.
Did you feel like when you walked back and told them she hit me is because you thought she hit you, or did the memory of she didn't make contact with you? Like, what was your thought
I think
process?
it was all very blurry for me, and I think that I led with she swung on me.
Yes,
and
I'm
I
sorry.
think
Yes.
that it morphed into
Yes,
she really put her hands on me because I was just in disbelief that you really balled up your fist and tried to aim for my head like I was a stranger in the street simply because I pushed you off of me. And
now you go from she had been treating me like a stranger on the street, but you say y'all wasn't cool. Which one is it? You want to have the real reality, but you also want to finish shooting scenes for the show.
I feel like that's what the viewers are. They're being willfully ignorant in this way. You put your hand on my elbow, knowing that I'm upset, whether you were trying to usher me out the room or not, whether I should have left out the door or not. As my mother, you know that I'm upset. You know that touching me is going to send me off.
But as a daughter who's being asked to leave, you can't control your temper. So her saying, even though she touched my elbow to usher me out of the room because I wouldn't leave, you know touching my elbow gonna send me off. Meaning you knew your mama could hit you or not. I'd be confused. Because if I'm fussing with my mama, we have these big old knockdown, drag out fights, and she's asking me to leave. And I don't leave. And she say, Shanny, come on now, Shanny. And because she touched your elbow, you push her to the closet door. So it was okay for you to push Jackie, but not for her to say, I'm gonna knock your head off.
You're trying to not sun me, but you're trying to come on, do you get what I'm saying? And because I've already made up in my mind that this is the game that you're playing and this is the narrative that you're going with, watch out, don't do that. You get what I'm saying? I see now how that push looks like. Well, girl, you started it and you deserve everything that was coming to you. That is not how I felt in that moment. And that's still.
It don't matter. You want us to get how you felt in that moment, but not Jackie. Both of y'all had a different idea, it seems. And again, this is not in defense of Jackie. This is Chantel trying to give her part of the truth while contradicting her own comments. You saying you felt like she was trying to play you. So because you felt some kind of way, you did stuff, and now you're upset at the reaction to your actions. Like you said, I should have just left. Yes, you should have, but you did. And because you did not leave, you got pushed into a camera, your nail got broke.
Not how I feel today. Should I have pushed her? Absolutely not. I don't want my kids to put their hands on me. I want my kids to treat me that way? No. But will I do to my kids what my mom has done to me? No. So I guess we'll never know.
Well, hopefully your kid don't push you. Because you don't know what you would do until someone pushes you. The same way you didn't know what Jackie would do until you pushed her. She may have also felt, because you said y'all have never had a physical fight. But y'all have had knockdown, drag out, arguments, which means Jackie probably felt like I would never hit my daughter like that. Until her daughter did what? Push her.
But I know that in that moment, I felt like, don't touch me. Like, you hear me say, don't touch me. Now, whether or not y'all want to acknowledge that
you heard Jackie say, Chantel, leave. So why is what you wanted more important than what Jackie wanted? Because had you left, none of this would have happened. Or had you stayed your ass in Timbuktu with your husband and your peaceful serenity, it wouldn't happen either. But you made a choice to come back to the drama-filled streets of basketball wives for a fucking check. And you can deny that all you want, but no one leaves a peaceful life to come shoot basketball wives. No one. Especially someone who also said they didn't even like, the TV and all that low-key blah, blah, blue. What she came back for?
It was on my elbow. Whether or not you want to acknowledge that I'm upset and I'm angry and I'm just, you can see that I'm spiraling. Never once did she say, you know what, cut the cameras. This is enough. Nothing. You're playing into this too. Never once did you say all bets are off. This is enough. We both could have said that. And neither one of us did. I know my reason for it. Because in my mind, at this big age, I'm finally standing up to this person that I have all of this anger towards. I'm not backing down. If that means that this has to be here on this stage in front of all these people, I don't care, because I know that I'm confronting this problem in my life for once.
But she in your life. You said you hadn't seen her, y'all had not been in the same state for years. You said you was happy with your husband being loved on out of the spotlight. You said that. You said you had left all that shit alone. You made a choice to come back to the drama because you like it. Because you just like Jackie.
But for you, who clearly you take this as a game, you could have removed yourself from this situation. You sitting here on the couch, scrolling on your phone, waiting for the next showdown. But I'm the problem, because a lot of us in specifically Black households are raised to believe, or are raised on the belief, do as I say, not as I do. Have respect for your parents at all times. It doesn't matter what they say, what they do. I think that there's a new generation of kids and adults that are coming and that are happening that are not going for that anymore.
No, there's a difference between I'm going to respect you as my parent, so I'm not going to beat your ass. However, I'm also going to ask for respect in return. I think that's the notion that at least I live by. You know what I'm saying? I've never had an argument with mama. I cussed my bio dad out one good time. Because child, he didn't raise me. But my point is, I think her trying to make it seem as if people are giving Jackie a pass because she's the mama. And it's like, no, I think in this situation, what we witnessed was you were the aggressor. Even if growing up she was the bully, you came on here fucking with your mama. And in every chance where you could have not engaged, you engaged. You never explained why you were mad at Jackie. So it seemed like you came on here to fuck with your mama.
I need to respect you because you're my parent, but you have got to give me something to respect. Why do I have to respect you just because of your title? Mother.
And if you don't fuck with Jackie, then don't fuck with Jackie. If you don't respect Jackie as your mama, don't come on the show as her daughter. You can't come on the show as her daughter if you don't respect her as your mother.
Father, sister, brother, cousin, husband, I'm not going to accept anybody else's toxic behavior simply because of their title. I'm not doing it.
You did, though. You did it for a check.
If that means that I'm a messed up person, if that's how y'all want to view me, I'll be okay. The sun will rise tomorrow. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna take my kids to school. I'm gonna make my husband I'm gonna go on about my life because I know my truth and I know my intentions. If I had came on here with the intent to embarrass her, to out her, to talk down about her, etc., maybe I would feel embarrassed or like, damn, like she really foiled my plans. Everybody's saying, oh, you came on here with the intent to embarrass your mom and you failed. I didn't fail. I freed myself. I didn't fail. This wasn't the goal, but I addressed a dragon in my life, and I can walk away from the situation knowing that I handled it the best I could.
Girl, how? Y'all didn't address shit. You saying she was a dragon in your life, but you also say you weren't upset with her about anything from your past. Which one is it? Why were you upset? Was it the old shit from childhood or no?
And until you're in that situation, you cannot tell me how to feel. You really can't. What people fail to realize, and I shared this with some of the girls off camera, is that when I was 27, I've always had really bad migraines and headaches. I went to the doctor, I got MRIs and all these scans, and the neurologist came back with, you have an aneurysm on the right side of your brain. This is something that obviously my parents are aware of. I've told all of my close loved ones, like, if something ever happens to me, like it could be that, you just never know. So for me, one, we know that I've tried for the last 5 years to live a very stress-free life. That's why I was out the way. That's why I wasn't in nobody's blogs. That's why I was just out the way living a very peaceful life.
So you want us to believe you had a full an aneurysm. So you got peaceful. And you chose to leave your peaceful life with an aneurysm to come on the show with your mama, who you knowingly have a toxic, volatile relationship with. And both your husband and your daddy told you, I don't know, Chantel, you know how you are. Why would you risk your health in your life? Because if that aneurysm ruptures and you die, was it worth it?
You brought me here You stress me to the point of disbelief, and then you aim for my head.
Not Jackie aimed for her head to knock over the aneurysm.
Yeah.
Child, the fact that Carlos is quiet, to me, it means he don't fully believe Chantel. Because, usually Carlos is an agreeing person. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. He hasn't oh, yeah this whole time.
Yeah. I'm not going to wear what they're putting on me. I'm not going to do that, Carlos. I'm not. If that means that they feel like I'm not taking accountability or whatever, that's okay with me. I take accountability for where I went wrong. Maybe I never should have gone up to the room when she asked for the conversation. Undoubtedly, I should have walked out the door when I was standing at it. I understand that. But nobody can tell me how to handle pain that they have not experienced. It is a different, triggering, crazy circumstance to be in when you're in it. It's so easy to sit there, turn on the TV every Monday. Oh, she's so disrespectful to her mom. Oh, how is she acting like this? Why is she acting like this? When you don't know the backstory. When you already have in your mind that this is the fan favorite, that we ride with Jackie right or wrong.
And that ain't true. People be cussing Jackie ass out. Jackie is only a fan favorite because she's been on here so long. But when Jackie be on bullshit, we call her out for a bullshit. The reason folk didn't call her out for because she didn't really do shit this season. Now, whether Jackie is a master manipulator and she planned all of this, I don't know. But no one rides for Jackie right or wrong. In this situation, she wasn't wrong. You were.
I see all of these comments that say, but that's still your mother. So let her do anything she wants to me. Let her bring up things that she promised she wouldn't. Let her try to get some random guy that I've never even met to bring some tea about me to this show. Let her talk about grandparents' rights when she knows that I'm in the middle of this case. At what point do you say, you know what, enough is enough? Now, the difference is everybody is telling me, well, you should have just walked away. Duh. I know that. But this was a very real situation that y'all watched play out. This was not made for TV. This was not something that I did for a check, she did for a check. I don't even think she knew that was going to happen like that. I think
so. She didn't do this for a check. I don't think Jackie did. So you just said you felt like Jackie planned it because she's a master. You know what I'm saying? She knew. Which one is it?
I think in her mind, she thought maybe she'll just remove herself from this in general. That's what she told the producers at Vegas. I don't even think that she's going to continue with the show because she knows I don't get down like this. I don't play these games. I'm not at that place in my life. Even if at one point I was messy, even if at one point I came on and talked to Laura, even if at one point I had my drama with Drea, I'm not at that space in my life anymore.
But you stayed the whole season. Through all the messy shit, you stayed the whole season. With an aneurysm in your brain, you stayed the whole season fussing and stretching yourself out. You stayed the whole season regardless of how messy your mama was. And her girl, okay.
So why are you pushing me to this point? And now you light this fire and then you walk away and you leave me standing here holding the matches.
Have you and your mother spoken since that night?
No.
And how long ago did that incident happen?
Probably about 7 months, 6 or 7 months.
You haven't spoken to your mother in 7 months. Mm-hmm. Your mother's birthday was this past weekend. Mm-hmm. Did you reach out? Mm-hmm. You didn't reach out.
No.
I'm not surprised they're not talking though, because according to Chantel, they weren't talking before.
Has she reached out to you?
No, she has mentioned through way of my brother when all of this happened. She basically asked him, does she want me to come out and make a statement? And
when the show after the episode aired?
After the episode aired, she sent word through my brother. Does she want me to come out and basically stand up for her? Like, I see that everybody is bullying her and so on and so forth. Does she want me to say something? And I said no. One, if that's not at the top of your mind, you shouldn't have to ask for permission to do that. If you see that people are wishing death on me and my family and they're talking about the way my son looks and they hope that my daughter's dad wins custody and all this wild stuff, and you see this in real time, and you yourself have been in my shoes, hated this first several seasons, people called you an instigator, messy, all of these things, you've been there. So you know how this feels.
So she just said, well, no, she didn't reach out. Well, technically, she reached out to my brother, to ask if Shanny wanted me to defend her. For her to say, if that's not at the top of your priority, but she's asking because y'all ain't talked. If we haven't talked, you may not want me to say shit on your behalf. Because we beefing. The last time I seen you, you pushed me and I hit you. Her asking your permission is her probably trying not to cross a boundary of you feeling like now she wants to look like the great mom defending me. You know what I'm saying? To me, her saying, "Would you want me to speak up for you?" Because I don't want you to then paint a picture of me trying to be fake and defend you when we ain't talking. And you said no, so I'm gonna stay silent. The fact that she asked you if you wanted her to means she wants to try to protect you, even through the bullshit.
And now this is a very real situation with this mother-daughter wound that is literally gaping open. And in your mind, no, you don't have to speak on my behalf. I can speak on my behalf, because even if you did come out and say something, it's not going to be the truth. You're not going to take accountability for what happened.
I just told y'all, if Jackie would have tried to defend her saying right now, it wouldn't have been true. It wouldn't have been, girl, you either want her to defend you or not.
You're not going to acknowledge that you pushed me to this point. You're not going to say that my anger was justified. Maybe my actions weren't, but my anger was. You're not going to acknowledge that. You're going to leave me standing out here holding the bag, looking like this terrible, disrespectful, horrible daughter. And that's okay.
How does your father feel about what happened?
I think that he is trying to process some very heavy feelings. I think that he is.
Because my daughter and my wife fought on television, and my daughter said to the world, "I don't love my wife and I'm going to leave my wife," which makes me look like a liar because I'm acting like I love my, you know what I'm saying? You put your daddy in a fucked up predicament. You put your daddy in the middle of it. So he has to feel about what you said about, because Jackie didn't bring up Doug, you did.
At a point in his life where all of these great things are happening. You know, he has this new opportunity as a head coach. And so any conversations that I have had with him have really just been him keeping me encouraged and telling me that, you know, I know your heart. Like, I know that you're not this person that people are making you out to be. I know that this was a long time coming. When I talked to him after the Hawaii thing happened, I said, Dad, you know our dynamic. You know that this is not, I didn't get on here with the intent to do this. And so I think that having his understanding and knowing that he knows our history is very reassuring. And I think that what people get misconstrued, and I've seen all sorts of sick comments like I'm such and such from Eve's Bayou and I want my dad and all this and that. What they fail to realize is that he has been my protector in times that I needed one. He has been that source of relief.
So why use him against Jackie?
Things in the house are too heavy or whatever, he will remove me from the situation before I get to the point of disrespecting her. You understand what I'm saying? So I look to him. Anything that comes to her, I'm going to my dad about it, period.
The fact that you're admitting you kick the same way we see Jackie kick to herself, and so sometimes she has to be removed from situations because she kicked control. We've seen Jackie be uncontrollable on the show. You admitting that Doug will have to remove you before you physically do something means he's not protecting you. He may be protecting whoever you want to fight. You need to also, but again, she's just like Jackie. You're just like her. So again, her admitting how Doug has to sometimes remove her before she does something drastic isn't him being this great father. It's him being a fucking referee between you and your mama, which is crazy.
Because you know what it is that I'm dealing with. And I feel like if nobody else can get you together, Doug Christie can.
I now get it. Every time you would bring up Doug and you would say, I'm calling my father, you feel like your father is the only one who understands Jackie Christie.
And is the only one that
and
can really...
that can check her.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So that because I think in your mind, you feel like my mother has fooled the world and has fooled the audience.
But
and
you can't.
But this man not only can hold you accountable, he knows that what I'm saying is the gospel because he knows who he's married to. And that's the reason why you can bring up your father's name. A lot of people, and listen, you don't have to answer this. If you don't want to, you can tell me that's whatever. A lot of people were not happy with you as well when you did say that's why Doug is leaving you. Would you like to address that?
What I can say about that is it's not my place to speak on anybody else's marriage. It was very, like I said, tacky and tasteless and was clearly just, when I watch myself say that, I'm like, girl, now you know that you didn't have to take it to hell. You did not have to take it that far. That's just not, that is one regret that I do have. Out of the entire season, that is the one thing that I regret because I didn't have to say that. I could have kept it right where it was at. You get what I'm saying? Like, but I'm spiraling. Like at this point now, I'm just...
Yeah. Yeah, you wanted to hurt her, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's why I cut it off. Okay. Because Chanel gets on my nerves. A part of me feel like Chantel doesn't think before she speaks. And let me get in it. Hold on. Let me get in it. Okay. Girl, where's Nene?
Shut up! That is so stupid. It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
Shut your mouth. Okay?
Anybody that ever told you differently was a fat Faison liar.
It's almost hurtful to me to watch her be so dumb.
Again, it was a 2-hour interview. Okay. Now we had a whole 3-hour tour tonight, which we had in a minute. But I feel like I'm not negating how Chantel feels about Jackie as a mom and what they went through growing up. That's her experience. That's fine. But you can't come on this TV show. Okay, you can't come on The Basketball Wives. And we saw what we saw. And every chance you had a clear way, you had a clear opening to express why Jackie had pissed you off. You never gave a reason. You know clearly she didn't. So I think the contradictions in her conversation between Jackie, even her sister and Doug, none of it makes any sense. None of it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if she'll be on next season. Jackie had not spoken, this whole time or whatever, but Chantel played victim this whole time. And she admitted she could have left. She admitted she should have walked out the room. She did admit certain things, but she would admit it while still blaming Jackie for not doing something different. But to me, that makes no sense because you are saying to us, Jackie is a crazy person. So why would you expect a crazy person to make better decisions when you know they're crazy? It's weird. But because I did not plan on being live for a little over 3 hours, I am tired. It is almost 12:30. Ciao. And y'all is round here letting me go and go and go. Anyway, I gotta go. Okay. Look, we had a good ass time. I'm gonna probably cut the Chantel interview part and repost that part tomorrow for folks who may not want to watch a full 3-hour tour. Okay. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Please and thank you. Okay. I will possibly be live tomorrow night if there's things to discuss. I don't know. But yeah, we had a good ass time, child. Lord alone, I'm gonna go to bed. Okay. But in closing, Chantel is crazy because she was raised by Jackie. But Chantel is also just like her damn mama. Okay. Y'all have a good rest of your night, child. I'm finna go watch the shot, the season finale of the shot and whatever, and chill out. But bye.